let's talk about the questions that we have.
All right. I'm just gonna paste them into the chat so you guys could see as well.
Wait, bro. Then everybody's gonna see it, bro. They need to sign an NDA.
iMessage.
iMessage, okay. iMessage.
Excuse me.
Guys, can we try to spell something out one by editing and adding letters?
3.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how like you're gonna add letters to a Discord message?
What?
When you add a reaction, you can add a.
Oh yeah.
I'll start.
Oh wait.
Discord.
Let's go. All right.
Okay.
Our heart. Show this to mom or
I
dad.
can't believe it, bro. Brandon, your brother's legacy, like whatever he does in his life, his greatest legacy will be being in that. Wait, that's not actually him.
Wait, what?
Kevin Nguyen pick. That's not actually him.
What are you talking about?
That's not him.
Bro.
Is it? Is it?
What? Who's Kevin?
I
Nguyen,
hella
dude?
thought this was your brother, bro.
Wait, screen share.
Oh, I sent it in
iMessage.
iMessage, but that's
Oh,
Wait, that is your brother, right?
Let me see.
it's not right. Or it is. Like from a distance, it looks like it, but when you zoom in, it doesn't look
No,
like it.
it's not. Bro.
That's not him, bro.
No.
Wait, what is with these people with like black pupil? Like really big.
I think it's just
the
It's really dark, bro.
Oh,
They've
wait,
adapted to
never mind.
Dude, it's like amazing. It's like it came straight out of like a Deontward video. Deontvid. Whoa. Whoa, I'm thinking about this right now.
Wait, you thought that was? That's pretty funny.
It's not Brandon's brother?
No.
Wait, so
Nah. Wait, his greatest legacy will be in Give Me the Glasses, and you guys legit like completely you guys completely predicted the plot to Spider-Man Far From Home, bro. It's the exact same premise, bro.
Is that Renvir
Was that?
in the picture?
Dude, what?
You think that's Renvir, dude?
Wait, oh wait, that
Oh, that kind of does look like Renvir.
That's my boy. Dude, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
are we
the
good to
calming
go?
figure.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna paste the questions now.
You better.
Ooh.
Damn.
So
This
we're
is
gonna go
the-
through the questions, and then we want your input on the questions as well. So these are subject to change. So we want you to help determine where the conversation goes to.
Poop.
And then after we quickly go through the questions, then we'll like actually start the conversation.
Why you gotta make it so complicated?
this.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
Solid.
Let's go. It's solid.
Like, okay.
Oh, this is the intro. We're supposed to clap now.
To sync the audio. Guys, sync the audio. You need to clap. Brandon, I don't hear you clapping, man.
It doesn't work if we're all clapping multiple
it's
times,
like-
right?
Okay. We've synced the audio like fivefold,
times.
bro.
Yeah, we already did it.
All right, we did it. We're live. So
We're
all the 7 billion people on planet Earth are live.
Yeah.
Are pee breaks allowed in this show?
Yeah,
We'll
go
have
ahead.
we'll have like a middle thing. I mean, like whatever. We'll just like cut it out. It's not like people are like actually.
Yeah,
So we don't have to like.
We're live streaming. To
We don't have to
Oh, we're
maintain an
live?
error of. No, we're not live to anything.
Oh.
We're live to all the people in the Skyway Discord, so they can tune in if they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait, do we tell them that's going on or what? We don't tell them.
No, bro. This shit's
Yeah.
real G's move in silence,
Yeah, facts.
like lasagna. All right, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Skyway Podcast. It's your hosts, Raymond and Brandon, and today here we have. Why don't you introduce yourselves, guys?
Jonathan.
Mark.
Yo, we got our first set of guests, boys. Started from the bottom, now we're here. All right, we gotta
Still
clap
bottom.
for them, bro. All right.
All right, plug Monet real quick.
Yeah, what do y'all do, bruh? What are y'all doing?
Just gaming and stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's mostly true.
so Jon and Marc are professional gamers,
Yeah,
and
we
they
get paid to
also
do this.
yeah, and also they happen to be giving out $1,000 to the guy who
The heart
draws the
contest
best heart,
winner.
bruh. All right.
Yeah.
Well, they already gave it,
So-
I think.
there we
Oh,
did.
did they? Damn it, I was trying to win 1K, bruh, through
Sorry,
nepotism.
I'm sorry.
All right. So we have Jon and Marc. If you guys tune into our first podcast, you probably guys can recall that they are working on a prestigious and elucidating dating app named Monet Dating. Download now on the App Store. You could be one of the many thousands of users who are very satisfied and have found love through through the avenues of their
Yes.
design.
Yes.
Damn.
That makes it sound so evil. It sounds like some like aphrodisiac stuff that we've
Bruh, that-
incorporated into.
Is
That
art not
literally
is
is
art
it,
not the
bruh.
most intoxicating aphrodisiac?
Yeah,
That's
it is.
true,
It's true.
Damn.
Yeah, we should be on their PR team, Raymond.
Facts.
I'll be yeah,
Our
that'll be
second
their
hire.
slogan. The slogan.
Yeah, Monet, is art really not the most?
Yeah, it's not rhetorical. They have to answer. All right, so let's just get acquainted with what they're doing. So our first question, just for all of the thousands of listeners that we have tuning into this podcast, is how are you guys doing with Monet? You know, how's app development? How is that world? And how has it been going? Bruh, you gotta answer, bruh. Bruh,
Go
come
ahead.
on.
I'm thinking I want to give a good answer, bro.
Mm.
It's okay. Yeah, honestly, it's like,
Dude, this is dude. You needed to that pause.
because it kind of feels like working on a school project sometimes because like we're all from the same high school and stuff. So like,
Mm.
Oh, dang.
yeah, it's
Oh,
like,
that's interesting.
yeah. Well, at least for me, like sometimes, like not in like that's not the main theme, I guess, of working.
That's not the
but,
main
like,
vibe.
yeah, but like that's like one of the vibes.
So like sometimes it just feels
Interesting.
like you're just like back in high school working on like you're
Yeah,
just,
like
gonna turn
it,
in a
like it
project.
doesn't really feel like you're doing anything because like
Mm.
it feels like a high school project, you know.
Bro,
Mm.
let me tell you what you're doing. You're helping people find love, bro. It's meaningful, bro.
Alright, that must
Alright,
be
do you,
hella lit, dude.
What?
Is
What,
it
Brandon?
lit? Is it lit at the Monet house?
It's
Yeah, it's actually hella lit, bro.
asking the real
Yeah.
We have
I'm at home,
fun.
you know, though.
We have
Mark,
fun.
do you reflect the sentiment
infused
of
entertainment
reflect the-
programs.
sorry. Do you, do you reflect the yeah, do you
just
reflect the
kept it.
sentiment of I just kept going, dude. I won't give
know, I
up.
was like,
Yeah.
I won't give up.
that
Do you
was
reflect the
epic.
sentiment of like, you know, like working on a school project? Does that ring true for you too?
I have only really worked with like Joanna on a school project, and sometimes I bring that experience up as a joke, but like no, I don't really.
Oh,
Think
who are
of this
the
like
who
a
are the
school
other
project.
developers? Do you introduce
Yeah.
us?
Right, we have Joanna and we have Daniel.
Okay.
Shout out Joanna.
Oh,
again.
there's Ryan. Ryan Sheehan is our first hire.
Shout out Ryan.
Oh wow.
Internet
Is he
friend.
new?
He's really talented. Yeah.
Oh shoot. When
Pretty
did you
new,
when
yeah.
did you hire him?
Dude.
About a month ago.
Oh shit.
About a week ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's your day to day look like? Cause like when me and Brandon were talking about when we were talking in the first episode podcast, we were like reflecting on what we think we were gonna talk about. Me and Brandon were like, we have like no idea what your work looks like. Like, what is your day to day even?
Mm.
Well, it depends. Like, based on like what, like we've like lived through multiple different situations. in, like, the past-
Elaborate. That's
Oh,
interesting. Elaborate.
like 6 months. Because like in the beginning, me, Joanna, Daniel were living in Portland, and Mark was in Cornell. And then that was one situation. Then there was a period of time where everyone was at home, like with their parents. And then most recently, like we're all living together. in San Francisco. So like I think that's like kind of changed because like it kind of depends like how you work depends on like what other stuff or like who you're living with, like if you get to set your own schedule or not a little bit. But yeah, day to day is just like I don't know, wake up and play CS.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
And
Pro Gamer
yeah.
sponsored by whoever Monet is sponsored by. Let's go.
Yeah, and just like design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like your most recent like endeavors been? Or projects? I'm not sure how you organize your work.
Gosh. I don't know.
Work-wise or game-wise?
I whichever's more important, bro. Whichever you want to talk about.
Honestly, no, go ahead, Mark. Sorry, I was just gonna like comment.
Oh yeah, game-wise, we're just climbing that silver ladder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
Wait, dude. Honestly, I spend more time thinking about CS:GO every day than I do Monet.
That's so good.
Don't tell.
Wait, that's respect, dude.
Don't
My
tell
man will not let go of the
respect.
grind, bro. My
Dude,
man's
I'm like
grinding every
climbing,
day.
bro. I've played 600 hours in like a year,
Wait, you're 200 more hours than me?
or like 580 or something like that.
Wait, that's amazing.
Damn.
It's
You have
crazy.
more hours than me, I think.
What the hell? How is that even
Yeah,
possible?
right.
I literally
Brandon,
started
you're
to
too
track
fast.
I don't know how that's possible.
Wait, Brandon, you're so nutty, bro. It's the natural talent.
He's got
Wow.
no amount of factors can be a substitute for the raw
He's still
talent.
cracked for the
that
amount of
No,
hours
it's
he's
the
played.
gamer chair or something.
It's the
Yeah, he has a
gamer
gamer chair and he has the mouse bungee, dude. If you ever go
Oh,
up
what?
to-
You have a mouse bungee?
yeah,
Well,
dude,
yeah,
he's got
it's hella
the-
useful,
He's got the
Wait, how does it
setup,
work? How
dude.
does it work?
It just makes it like a wireless mouse, so it like completely removes like the drag of the wire.
I see,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's like this mouse, and then it's like a spring that like just holds it up like this.
Right.
Like,
Oh, okay, that
like
kind
no
of that's
resistance.
pretty cool. Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got like the crazy gamer setup. Also, he's got the racing chair. So like,
Wait, also you have a better PC than me, so like I feel like
Yeah, that's a big
that's like a minor like part of it, you know. That's like not the main part of it, but like yeah.
I mean, but CS basically runs on anything. So
Yeah, damn. Okay.
He's
But
got
the-
like wall decor.
yeah, look, he's got the album covers, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Also,
those are
those
sick.
guys are like
Wait,
whispering.
you have a
midnight.
shelf now, or is it still just like hanging? Or
A
something?
shelf? Nah,
no,
it's a
it's like-
shelf. It's like a clear
Oh
shelf.
what? Oh
Yeah,
shit, that's sick.
he's. I think you've always had that, right? Yeah, he's always had like
Oh,
a.
you've always had
He,
it?
yeah, it just
not
doesn't really look
always.
like it. Oh, wait, never mind.
Wait,
But
no,
it's
you
like,
used to have them like taped up. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. No, they used to be on like these stands that were kind of bad, so we
Damn.
just replaced them with shelves.
That's
Yeah,
good.
That's
That's
fire.
cute.
Wait, do you still like the albums that you had up like before?
Oh yeah. I changed out some of them, but I like most of them for the
Yeah,
most
most
part.
damn, bro. What have you had a falling out with, bro?
Dude, I can't tell you, dude.
Wait, why is that so
Very
personal?
personal thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
my man
right.
went through a spiritual
Oh
journey.
shit, yeah, he probably was like listening to something hella sad when
No.
shit was going
Yeah,
on.
like when his girl left him, bro.
Yeah,
What
I wasn't
the-
gonna say it, but you said it.
Dude,
for me.
wait, and you can see like
Exactly.
right in the top right corner, slightly you can see the Take Care album, bro. It's probably that one, bro. Cups of the Rose, bro. Cotton,
Dude,
cotton bouquet.
the one below, I was like, is that Slim Shady up here or Forest Hill, bro?
Nothing.
Forest
It is
Drive,
fire.
whatever that album.
Oh,
The
shout
Dave-
out.
The Marco
Oh,
album.
Oh, just make it. Sorry, my bad.
Shout out the Shui family, bro.
Yeah,
sorry.
facts.
Yeah, my family. I'm like, oh, what are your guys? Okay, sorry, I'm like hella train wrecking this thing right now.
Nah,
No,
it's
that's
fine,
fine,
bro.
that's
Just
fine.
What are
continue
your
your
guys'
train of thought.
thoughts on like knocking? Like, do you think it's like super like? Cause okay, I've seen like some TikTok videos of like candid like family things. And,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, someone comes in the door without knocking, and the comments are all like hella pissed off. Like, whoa, like your parents hella don't know how to respect personal privacy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and I was like, damn,
That
wait,
doesn't
what?
seem-
Like,
maybe
hella
it's
not
like
cool.
maybe it's an upbringing thing. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Like,
it probably is, but like,
It
what do
totally
you guys
is.
think?
I think it comes from the mentality that like the house is divided into spaces
Oh,
for
facts.
like people. Like
Damn,
people have like
dude.
their like I never really understood the concept of like your bathroom,
right.
right? Because
Facts.
it's more so just like the house. The house is just like where your family lives.
Right, true.
Mm.
That's
You know,
actually
it just-
hella interesting because like,
Right?
like
Yeah.
at least I don't know how like white families do it. I don't know if that's like a.
I think a better category would be like Western versus
Yeah. Okay.
like,
Fair. Or
Eastern.
like
Totally.
more acclimated. Yeah. Like American families and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't
At
know
least
how
American,
those-
because we don't really have perspective on like
Right.
Europe.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But like, I don't know if it's like a thing where like the parents are. Oh no, they hella do this like you're under my roof type stuff.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's like what my parents say. But like, yeah, or like personally, I don't even need that privacy that much. You know what I mean? Like.
Mm.
I don't feel too weird about like my parents barging in, like only when it's like if I'm having like a one-on-one meeting with a random person, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true. Yeah.
that's like hella awkward because I have to be like, and like my
Yeah.
mom is,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like with it's like if it's like even like a work meeting or whatever, like I don't mind it that much as long as it just like isn't awkward, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of like weird to like fumble where it's like you're talking to someone that your parents have like never seen before.
like no context,
Yeah, no context. They just walk in, and then you know they're probably thinking like, "Oh, who is that?" And now
Right,
just
right.
you know, like thinking that they're thinking that, it's like kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah. all
But
the
back
time,
to
yeah.
the thing about like separation between your space and like the
Yeah.
family space. That's actually something I didn't really consider. I don't know. Like I feel like if I had a lock,
Uh-huh.
I would use it, but I just
Wait.
don't. But I don't really mind unless I'm like whacking it or something. Like obviously, right?
Wait,
Like
this is
Wait,
how
in
it's
your room though, it's like how do you ever feel safe to do that in your room?
like if it's like late at night.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm,
okay,
like,
but
sleeping.
okay, because I'm like,
You know?
damn, like that would like I would just be nervous, you know, like it'd kill the vibe
Yeah.
like a little bit.
I'd always be on edge. You
Yeah,
gotta
no,
have your
like,
hand
oh,
over the alt tab, bro.
like
No,
it's
that's
hella
facts,
scary.
though, that's
I don't
facts.
even want that like attention. Yeah.
Wait, that's hella something that I've been like especially last year, like sort of reflected on, like at home in China, like there was this really vague boundary, like everywhere. Like my room, I never close my door, and my parents can just enter. Like there's not even like a door for them to open, you know. They just like appear like next to me, and then like when
Yeah.
I'm not there, they're like fully comfortable coming into my room, and then like moving stuff around, and especially like because I was, you know, I went to boarding school. Sometimes I'll leave the room a certain way, and then like a week later I come back, it's like a different layout entirely, and things are like in random places. So I thought like, and I just thought that was okay, right? So there's like a
Yeah,
pretty like
just-
weak sort of like ownership or some sort of like jurisdiction over my own things, even like when I was a kid. So, I went to Vincent's when I was living with Vincent, like at the beginning, like you know, starting 2015 until 2019, like that was really interesting because everybody had their own room and they like regulated that space really well. Like they all like closed their door and then locked it even, like, and then
Yeah.
I would just like I was like so amazed like when Mrs. Van would just like stand by the door and they're like Vincent, like, and we just like stand there for a really long time. If he doesn't decide to open the door, if he doesn't want to, then he won't. And I was like,
that's like
That's
something
like
that's
so
really important to
bizarre.
me.
Yeah, I've never
that
done
was-
like that's never happened to me.
so
That's
I was,
so
but it was weirdly like when I was there, the first thing I was like, whoa, my door has no lock, and I was like,
what the?
I need a lock on my door, which is
Oh,
weird
yeah.
because I would never close the door or even lock my door or at home, right? So, but
But
it's
that's
still
like different because like you're living in another person's like
Right.
space almost. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like starting to sort of like be very aware of like what's mine and what's my space when I'm in that context, but something is still like missing in terms of like what's not mine, you know, like because there was no my definition of mine back home, so there was also like no necessary definition for like what's not mine. Like I could literally like walk to my parents' bedroom and then like open the like dressers and then I find like condoms and like cash in there and like I would just take them. Like I hella just like took them
cash,
and
bro. Let's
Wait,
go.
what?
Let's
Wait,
fucking go,
yeah.
dude.
and like I would and I remember
Yeah,
like
he was like a stripper.
yeah,
Bruh,
yes,
somebody
yeah,
come
basically,
Twitter.
like I would
What?
find like shit and I would
What?
take it. Like they would keep like cash. Sometimes they would like stash like cash somewhere.
Like I would just open the drawer and there's be a cute like a brick of cocaine right there. And
Yeah, I'll just like grab whatever, and it's
I just take an
super
8-ball,
odd.
you know.
Yeah, like I remember
actually
like
really-
Wait, but that's like different because like I feel like with family stuff, like I also feel that way, you know, like
yeah, but then
like-
sorry, go ahead.
or just like family is always like kind of like a different lens, almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever
And then-
think that like okay, this might be a stretch, but like do you think like that type of like difference in value reflects like some form of like emphasis on like property ownership and like
totally.
materialism that like
100%.
manifests
Totally,
itself in,
yeah.
like the dynamic between like American culture and like the things that surround like the things that surround them. Like everything has to be owned by somebody. Like things have
Yeah.
Right.
Bro,
Things
oh
have
my,
designated
so
owners.
crazy. I've
I
literally
don't even
journaled
know if
about
it's that,
this.
though,
Like, this is a
like-
literal topic.
Like I'm sure that has like some like okay, I mean I think like okay, obviously like everything has like an impact, like
yeah.
Mhm.
large scale and like really intrinsically.
Mhm.
But I think like sometimes like for me at least, like talking on that level is just like too hard to like really pinpoint. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
there's no way you could ever actually like quantify whether or not
Right.
there's like a meaningful impact on
Yeah, like you
like, those
could
type of attitudes.
at least like right now, like it's hard. Like I'm sure if someone did like an intent, like extensive
Yeah.
study on it.
Yeah,
like,
but just like through conjecture, there's no way
yeah,
to
yeah, 'cause, like even for like my
gain any
personal
meaningful insight.
experience, like I don't like it's hard to tell. You know what I mean?
Because we're only
Like,
four dudes, you know. We're
Yeah.
only
Also, I
exactly.
feel like a ownership is like one layer like above, like some probably like other deeper, like
yeah. Like what is?
I think it's like probably like interdependence or like independence kind
No,
of.
because
like,
like it's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah,
that's
that's true.
interesting. Because
Yeah.
also like wait, sorry.
Because I think
Also like I'm just thinking like because I think like even within cultures like there's people who have there's like a spectrum regarding like how people
obviously, like nothing's a monolith, right?
right exactly so like
Yeah.
sometimes I think like I'm more like thinking about like what thing within these different like families I guess is different and sometimes it's not so deep like that you know what I mean like yeah
I think I don't know. This is completely anecdotal, but I think like things that reflect that, at least in my life, of like people who have grown up in an influence of like independence versus interdependence when it comes to family, is like in my household, like people don't have like I think people have like their own like cups and stuff, right? And like also when like we just like all have like a ton of cups and you just like you use like whatever, right? Like do you really have like designated like cups for certain people, or is that like even a thing? I'm not sure.
No, not for me. We just share
actually-
cups.
yeah we just
Yo,
say
in my family, that's kind of interesting though. It's kind of like there's like a split even in my family. Even like my mom, like if we're going on interdependence and independent like frame, right? Like she's definitely more interdependent than my dad is. Like my dad's like he's like one of the greatest virtues of the Liu family is that we're independent. Like we rely on ourselves. And then like sometimes he'll like say, you know, look at my dad, look at my like no the grandpa on my dad's side, like he's like in his 80s and he's like all on his own, you know, like he doesn't need us. And my dad's like, that's so good. And then he in turn really values that kind of like what's yours, what's mine, kind of like that kind of separation. Like one time I was trying to play with his phone, I was like, you got your own phone, why don't you like use your phone? Like you don't tell me your password, I don't tell you your password, let's just keep it like that, you know. But for my mom, she's like more like flexible on that, you know. I can be on her phone all the time and she wouldn't care if I like change something. And then and my grandparents on my mom's side are also like more dependent on their children, which is kind of interesting, maybe. Yeah,
I think another thing that kind of speaks on that type of mentality is like how you just share meals, you know? Like obviously like when you eat a dinner when you're like in a Chinese family, it's just a big communal like you know, like it just there's a big pot of just like a bunch of stuff and then you just go in and then like
yeah,
you eat it. Like whenever you go to a Chinese restaurant or something like that, there's like a bunch of dishes inside. But like if you're going to like I don't know, like a French restaurant or a French ass restaurant, telling the waiter to hurry up with your damn croissant. They're like when you're getting like your own courses for yourself, you know, like your 7 courses, your soup, your salad, and then it's all I don't know. Maybe like obviously like what John said, like nothing's like nothing can be like deemed
sole reason probably
deemed as like
yeah
but you can at least draw parallels, and whether or not there's like a causal relationship between those like factors, it's at least interesting to, you know, conjecture about. You know,
Right,
it's like I don't know. At least in my mind, it seems like intuitive. Like now that we've like talked about this in length, it seems like intuitive to me that it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know, like it makes sense. Like maybe it's just because I have a limited point of view.
Right. I mean,
but
we're all like.
it makes sense that there's like a dichotomy
What, Mark?
between
What were you saying?
interdependence and dependence. Sorry, I cut you off.
No. I was cutting you off. I'm sorry. It was just like we're all just like picking like a frame that's like the most familiar for us, right? So like, there could be like other explanations too. But yeah.
What do you think, Brandon?
I think that little things like that are definitely a reflection of like the individual or collectivism present in our ideologies, I guess. And like Zizek, if you know who that is, believes the same thing. That like our ideology is reflected in like the tiny things that we do, which is interesting because you can't like for sure draw the connections, but I don't know. I think it makes sense that under an individualist culture, like personal property would be like more personal, so to speak. And under like a collectivist culture, the boundaries of like personal property are like kind of blurred, as in Mark's situation. But yeah.
And we're even talking about like the kind of like the you know, going way back, like how people like obtain like sustenance, right? Like whether you're like herding or like farmers, like that like has like some sort of like evolutionary impact on your like psychology in terms
Yeah,
of,
exactly.
Oh, wow.
Do you like? Here's something that I've been thinking as Brandon was talking. Do you think individuality and just like industrialization / like technological advancement go like hand in hand, or are those like are those like removed from each other, and it's just like a coincidence that these kind of because like when you're going back to like the Neolithic Revolution or like more societies, I think it's more intuitive to think like, oh, they had like a more collective culture. You know, they were like more they were less removed from each other's quote unquote property. There wasn't really the concept of like the nation or the state or anything like that, you know. And as there's more development, it seems that well, there were always factions, but like the individual actors within those factions would try to act more and more individualistic, you know. And my question is like, do you think that's like something that is a result of that, or it's just like those two processes aren't married to each other?
What are the two processes that you're referring
The
to?
processes of like human advancement / like the rise of civilization and an attitude reflecting individual like and like property, you know, like an attitude reflecting individualism and emphasis on owning like your own property and the mentality that property belongs to somebody.
Maybe like really early on for certain things, because like it's like I feel like it's like I don't know. I'm sure there's like literally like factual or like semi-factual like discussion on this, like people charting the history of humanity and like what's been successful. But like my I limited I guess like thought on it is that like early on, like logistically, it's helpful to have that when you're starting to like I guess like designate like land, like when people are settling down, basically, right? Like logistically, I feel like early on it was helpful for that, but then I feel like once that was like somewhat established, like the systems for sustenance, like at that basic level was somewhat established, I don't think it's like that necessarily connected.
I see.
Also,
So
it's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
okay, I was just trying to like clarify. So basically, you're saying like maybe like when they're just rising out of like the very most basic of developments, they're married together. But past that, it's not really like something that's directly
Yeah,
correlated.
because I feel like in the sense of like ownership over like land or whatever, like maybe like earlier on it was more of like, I mean, I don't know. Okay, like this is just like one of my thoughts. Like as to,
Yeah,
like,
we're prefacing everything by saying like these are our
like,
thoughts.
we don't know anything.
We're not experts on many things.
Right.
So,
Like okay,
so
like one of my thoughts. I have, like two. There's like kind of two directions on this. Like I think like maybe like oh like people people kind of figure out farming and then keep
Yeah.
inducting like more people to like learn about this great new thing that we just like discovered, right?
Sure.
Or like
Mhm.
or the other way is like, oh, now that we've discovered this great new thing, like, because I'm pretty sure like hostility somewhat still existed between like groups of unfamiliar
Yeah,
people.
like always, there's always factionalism and like me versus you when it
Right, like
comes
some
to
sense of
human
that. So
development.
like I'm sure at some point like the process of like designating what is yours and what is mine, like whether property wise or like land wise, was like safety wise relevant for people. Like just to like protect their group versus someone else's group from like being able to survive a winter or something like that. But like I feel like after a certain point, the need for that starts to like as the collective technology rises to a certain basic level, I feel like the need for that kind of level of like this is mine and this is yours like starts to like fade.
That's true.
Right.
It's kind of
think, like,
interesting. Go on. Sorry.
That's like also like, could we say that that's like what's happening in like Europe and Canada? Like they're more like socialist than America, or like than China even, right? Like, because like you need that sort of like capitalist greed to develop fast.
Yeah, I think the it's more. I think it's less reflective of like a large spanning framework when you're talking about like collectivism versus the individual. I think, at least in my opinion, obviously this is my thought, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think yeah. Just keep that in mind. I think it's better to look at general cultural practices as opposed to like a larger framework that the society operates under, like a la the government or the economy.
Really?
Because like
Mhm.
I don't think like the attitude of a people is really reflected by the larger framework that governs them. I think it's more. I think it's more dictated by and you could better like find these attitudes by looking through like cultural practices and their attitudes towards certain basic assumptions about the nature of like human interaction and life and like
Wait,
Wait, but I
Wait,
feel
that-
like you go.
But something could be said. Something could be said that those attitudes manifest themselves within the review of
Right.
like, how society structures itself.
Like I feel like even America has like a large amount of like subgroups that are more collectivist, and the main thing, like from a government perspective, holding it back is just like policy related and like who's on top. It's like because I feel like there's a lot of subgroups in the U.S. that are like probably would advocate like have some aspect of their lives that isn't like controlled by the government that is like much more collectivist than people like think it is.
Yeah.
Also, Rayman, I just like to say that those attitudes I feel like are informed by like the different incentives in the system of like social organization. So like socialism would have different incentives than like capitalism, and that manifests in like different cultural attitudes and beliefs.
That's true.
And also, I feel like those attitudes are like they come from like a view from the bottom up, almost like from like it's very individual. It's very personal. It allows for empathy, but like from the government or the system point of view, it's like top down. We're like viewing a huge group of people, and by the law of large numbers, they're like what predictable, right? Like then at that level, you can opt for efficiency, but like from the bottom where like everything is happening, like efficiency is never going to cut it. Like there's like calls for justice, there's call for like equality.
I guess that's like operating under like efficiency as good.
Right, yeah. Which
Necessarily isn't the case.
Which is interesting because like under that type of assumption of like efficiency is good, which like largely is reflected in modern views of like neoliberalism or something. The interesting thing is the goal is like globalization, right? But the large, from at least this discussion, it seems the result of their pushes for globalization, it fosters a more individualistic attitude when the original like efficiency standard of it is to try to like unite faraway places, but it kind of makes the on the individual level, it doesn't really reflect that um like attitude to try to like make the flow of information between one body to another and the flow of like goods from one body to another. It kind of but still it like makes people close off like these walls when as a society they're looking to like break down those walls and like spread out influence on like the world stage.
So people become more individualistic as technology advances, for sure. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's a possibility. I don't think they're strongly married to each other. Like I don't think they're like deeply like correlated. There's a causal like strong causal relationship between the two.
I think
But I do think that there's at least some form of irony, maybe. I'm like that like these two processes and the result of which on the individual level are kind of contradictory.
But
I'm
I
not
feel
sure.
like it's like the the system kind of perpetuates that idea to limit the like imagination of like people.
Totally,
You know,
totally.
Like
Yeah.
like I feel like there's a lot of like at least like claiming that innovation requires this that like incentive and then fueling that like starting that idea and then fueling that incentive through whatever like systems and then continuing that cycle like because I feel like people are like innovative and creative and all of that like almost like my view is like to a certain extent like innately and like
Yeah.
it doesn't there's no necessary like monetary incentive necessary.
Yeah.
Like you don't need
I
that
believe
in
that,
order
I
for
believe
people
that,
to like
yeah.
make stuff that is good for
Yeah.
humanity,
Totally.
right? So like I feel like it's like largely like how the system uses the idea of like what enables creativity, which like right now people claim is like
Capitalism.
capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Like so like that uses that kind of thought process to like perpetuate capitalism.
Yeah.
But like, there's not a lot of spaces where like people can like experience not that, like because of globalization and other stuff, like to where they can even realize that like the non-capitalist innovation, like everything is so like almost globally like tainted by like largely Western ideas of capitalism to where like you can't even try to like
Like
innovate outside of it.
every single aspect of the world is basically framed by like this largely capitalist
Yeah. So you
Western.
can't even like remove it from like
Yeah,
the
you can't like
hypothesis.
unless you're like so far removed from like like the global influence of like these capitalist superpowers. It's so hard to see something from not that perspective. Like it's sometimes you have to remind yourself that like everything that you see is through the perspective of like a framework. Me and Brandon were actually talking about this on our first episode, right? Like everything you see is through the process of is through like a certain framework, and the fact that globalization has made it that like this framework has spread so far and wide that it's like almost inconceivable to think through any other like way.
Dude, that's why it's so cool to like grassroots movements are like so cool. I feel like that like kind of like serve to like provide for basic needs of people to kind of like help their imagination in like
Exactly.
that shit is so like epic. Like free breakfast programs or whatever, like or like community fridges, even like on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is like super cool. Cause like I think, I mean, yeah. I don't
No, that is dope. Well, I think like an interesting thing, this is kind of small, but it relates to like the personal property topic before, is like states like Cuba and Vietnam have like communal gardens that they share with each other, and like Americans
Yeah.
can't even like conceive of that having like
Yeah,
a
like,
public
Wait, it's
learn
actually a
about,
garden.
like,
thing.
Huh?
Wait, like in cities,
Oh,
like
really?
community gardens are like a pretty big thing. And
Do they
yeah,
like
exactly.
and
Sorry.
citizens like grow together on that and harvest
yeah.
together? Oh, that's sick. I actually didn't know
But it's
that.
like
I feel like
largely like grassroots stuff. Like
Oh,
Philly has a bunch, and it's like it's really cool. Like a lot of there's this organization called Viet Lead. It's like a Vietnamese organization in South Jersey slash like Philly, and like their whole thing is like, well, one they have like a really big community gardening program, and like the main focus of that is getting like elders and children to garden together to kind of like build that bridge between like old and young. Yeah,
that's
it's
very
like really
cool.
cool.
that's
And
sick.
Philly has a bunch. Also, SF has some community gardens, like not as many as Philly, I think. But yeah, Philly
Yeah,
also
and the
That's
has
thing
a
sick.
is,
bunch.
like, when it comes to things such as that, and back to like the inconceivability of some ideas, like you're literally taught about like, or at least like under like deeply like the deep framework that is ingrained into you, like you're taught that that is like inconceivable. We're taught about like the tragedy of the commons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When like if you look through just like history and like and you just look through like basic human interaction, like the tragedy of the commons has only manifested itself like since globalization has like been a thing. You know, like it's like when it's like a local community or something like that, and like people are collectivist within their own cell, it's really hard to try to like say that the tragedy of the commons or the individualistic ideals of a person putting themselves before the collective, which in the framework of like globalist or neoliberalism or capitalism or whatever you want to call like this hodgepodge of like Western ideology that's spread throughout like the entirety of the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an impossibility for anybody to think of putting themselves before the collective.
Right.
But if you just look through if you look through like history, there almost have never been instances where this is just obviously from a limited worldview of like what I know of like history and stuff. There's like very few instances where you can argue that like there are the before like the rise of like industry and stuff like that, there are like humans like if they if there's like a public lake, they just like keep fishing the fish until it's like
Yeah.
there's asserted that there's like no cultural practice or like attitude towards collective attitudes toward like their relationship with the lake that will prevent them from just overfishing it, because every single person will just be like, oh, I need to get as many fish as I can, as if that's not like a modern ideology. That's always that's like something that's always been ingrained into human attitude, which I don't think is true.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
so like it's so interesting because I feel like well, you mentioned like Western ideology spreading. I would like to note that I feel like it's like, you know, imposed upon a lot of the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like it's so interesting because I feel like like referring back to like something we were saying earlier about like subgroups within the US like holding some of those like what is it? Like what's non-individual?
Collective.
Collective, yeah, collective ideals. Like I feel like if you even like this is like a non-specific example, but like even like communities like Chinatown and stuff like that, like if you go back like just like 30 years or something, 40 years even, like that's like a really like rich example of like people supporting each other within a community and like kind of like, you know, like takes a
Yeah.
village kind of vibe, like people are raising their kids like almost collectively in a
Yeah,
feeling. And I
yeah.
feel like a
Same
lot
same
of
for Vietnamese community.
yeah, and like I feel like it's all like it like a lot of these communities are just like mowed down by like the government and like capitalism. Like a lot of like Chinatowns like are dying across the country mainly because of like gentrification. Like
Wow.
it's like when certain like I feel like governing bodies have the ability to like squash out things that don't fit within like the larger narrative. Um, they tend to just do that. Like even globally, like
Yeah.
I mean that's like the case.
Do you think it's like a result of like them just having the idea that like efficiency is good, and it just like from that mindset, that's like what stems that's what's stemming from their like activity to try to kind of like stifle things like this?
Well, I feel like efficiency is like a confusing word to use because like it is like kind of vague in that like it could be a good thing. I like think it's like oppressive. Like it's not like it's like actually prioritizing certain richer, whiter groups over less white, less rich like groups. Like at least like that's one of my views on it because
This is his thought, guys.
yeah, like because it's mainly like that's like mainly the case, right? Like white rich people just take from non-white, non-rich people to extend their whiteness and richness.
Yeah.
And also just to like relate to like a point earlier, like the kind of the idea that started this discussion, like progress, right? Like this kind of like worship of progress almost, like, you know,
like progress above all, like
like something is like, oh, you know, backwards, something is more primitive, and this is like like gentrification is progress, right? But like if you look at it, like progress is such like an arbitrarily defined thing. Like
progress towards what?
Like progress towards what? Are we at the most advanced as we can be at this very moment, right? Is our current moment the best that could have come out of like all the possibilities like 20,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
How do you say like 5,000 years ago to now there is progress? I think it's so like hindsight, yes, it's like always like everything is so inevitable, right? So you would say, you know, yes, we are able to achieve progress today, quote unquote progress, however you define it, right? Because of individualism, because of capitalism, because of, you know, like mercantilism, like all those kind of imperialistic practices, like all those years ago. But like that's just because you're looking at it as if this is the end, that is the most desirable, and then you're trying to justify everything.
So I feel like one thing that's interesting about like measuring progress that I think people fall back on, and it's like hard to like. Well, I'm just gonna talk through it. The beginning of what I'm saying
You have the
is
floor.
necessarily what I agree with. Like the measure of like how many people are dying at birth and also how long people are living. Like basically, like I think to a certain extent, like people can agree that like people like babies dying and people getting sick in their like 12s and 13s is like not
That's
good.
pretty bad.
That's like objectively like I want to refrain from using the word objective.
Right. Like I don't want to say objectively because like I can imagine a world where like death is not a bad thing.
Under 99% of like frameworks,
yes,
that you can operate under, that is like good.
Exactly. Like even under collectivist societies, I'm sure like unless you just like don't mind death at all, which like I'm sure
like there's like a cultural attitude where death is like completely fine.
Right, like or like if you believe in the afterlife being like way better than like I don't know, but like like that could be good, but like for the most part like we've like made dying early a lot harder.
Because like collectivist or individualist, we've all like all cultures of the earth have adopted an ideal that human life is valuable. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's like from that point of view, like I can see, but like so the stance like a lot of people hold is like okay, like our progress is indicated by how much death we can like stave off, basically, or like how many people we can like keep from dying. But it's interesting because I just feel like my take on that is like yes, I acknowledge that like not dying is like life is valuable.
He's brave for saying that.
But like my other perspective is like I feel like it would have been possible to get to this level of not dying
without
like the same incentive.
Totally.
Exactly. So like I think we have made progress. Like
100%.
In this measurement of progress. Which is like a very widely held measurement of what is like considered.
Like I mean, almost like universal. I don't want to say universal, but like
as universal as something as any cultural idea can be.
Right. Like,
right,
but
yeah.
also like given that like the bodies that have funded these things have also like killed a bunch of people like along the way. But like for the most part, like if we're viewing medicine in a vacuum, like we've saved people like a lot. Right. But like I just think like we could have gotten here a different way as well.
Totally.
So, like,
Exactly.
So like I think we have made progress, but just it didn't have to be done in this like.
Facts. Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's like another thing I was gonna say, right? Like just like if we look at like say like the overall like decrease in human violence, right? Like throughout the thousands of years, like yes, I guess like civilization has made progress, right? But like I feel like a lot of times like a lot of other things are packaged into like what progress is, like you know, like is internet good, right? Like is like this good, is that good, is the stock market good, you know, is like fiat currency good, like, right? Like all kinds of things, like
It's
period
good, you know, like
like there's so many things, like I think once you like sort of look at things this way, it's like your conclusions narrow, right? Like people say, oh, you know, the invention of the alphabet is like what gave rise to like modern philosophy and democracy. I'm like, yes, but also like, are those like the best things that we can come up with, you know?
But that's interesting though, like, cause like, do you think like people who like believe in capitalism as like the way, like I feel like some of them like acknowledge the bad, like they're like. Oh yeah, like a lot of
it's
that
like
shit,
the best. It's the best of a worst bunch. Like it's...
right. Like yeah, like okay, the internet is a mixed bag. Like currency is like fucked, but like at least we cured some cancers. Like I'm sure a lot of people like. So there's like extreme capitalists and there's like semi-extreme capitalists. Like I'm sure a lot of that kind of middle group is like acknowledging of that. But I guess it's like.
No,
yeah, it's hard because like who knows
like,
type
from what I've seen, like I think capitalists see it as like inevitable or just like the way nature is.
Yeah, capitalists like at least I don't know. I want to refrain from just keep saying like capitalists believe this. You know, it seems weird. It seems like more of like this. I don't want this podcast to turn into like an us versus them. You know?
yeah, that's true.
But,
get out of
like,
that dualistic thinking.
Yeah, because like especially because like you know like we're like we're participating in right. So we are capitalist, like we're talking about capitalists, but to anybody else who isn't like within a capitalist system, they're looking at us like, what the fuck are they talking about? They're capitalists. They're participating within capitalism.
Like
exactly,
under our own views, like we are participating in capitalism.
Exactly, exactly. But like there is this idea that like humans are inherently evil, and the best system is the system that can stave off the ravenous humans from destroying each other. And the free market is the mechanism in which humans can avoid eating their own tail, you know?
Right. Dude, I'm like sometimes tempted to like believe that rationale. Not like that fully, but like it's like sometimes I'm like, damn, like people do kind of suck. Like you know, like looking around like so it's tough. Well, I feel like alright, no, I'm not gonna say it. Like never mind.
Say it.
Let's go. Okay, just like cut this out if it's too controversial. Like I just feel like white people like suck.
Yo, let's go.
Yo, we're leaving that in.
No, like internally leaving that in, folks. Like,
you know, we're leaving that in, bro. Let's fucking go.
like in terms of like, yeah, like who's like the most fucked. But like, okay, like once it becomes like fully racial, it's like you can do too many like fucked generalizations.
Yeah, like you don't want to reduce everything.
Right.
You don't want there's like everything like you can look at it through race or you can look at it through class, but you don't want to reduce it to race or class.
Right.
You don't want
can you generalize class? Like rich people are fucked.
Yeah.
Like
I think so.
The process by which they've become rich or themselves.
Especially
like,
the ultra rich, that's not too reductionist. They
like
always
I
screw
think
over someone
and
to
you're
get
also
that rich.
referring to like
I honestly have I don't like know enough about like the process of becoming like ultra rich. Like that amount of money is like so far removed from like
you have
my mind that like I can't even process like what are they doing, you know? Like
Like,
How are they getting that? Like,
Dude,
what? Like, I don't
Why are you
understand.
earning 500 times more
it's
than
crazy,
a normal
like-
worker.
it's crazy. Like, it's insane how like TikTok comments or like IG comments sometimes like they be on the dick of like.
Yeah,
Dude,
facts.
they
so
are
crazy.
so
No.
dude.
I
That's what I'm saying.
respect
That's the fucking globalist. Like that's the like nobody can operate outside of that mindset. You know, like
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
if you become too deep in it and you're not like what we're operating under that mindset. But if you're too deep within it and you can't remove yourself, you can't at least acknowledge that you're operating within that mindset. That's when you're looking at these people and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
they must be they're successful, so they must be doing something right? Because like
Yeah.
what I'm working towards, they got to it. So like they must be doing something right, you know? It's like,
Wait,
I
wait,
why are you
respect
riding
the
these
hell
people's
out of
dicks, bruh?
Wait.
No,
Stop
wait,
it.
wait, wait.
Dude,
How does
How
anyone
did they
think?
do it, bro?
How does anyone think we actually live in like a meritocracy, bro? Like we don't,
Yeah,
dude.
it's actually insane. Like, I like respect the hell of those, like, out of those like TikTok commenters. Like, they're so selfless. You know what I mean? Like, they're like so on the D of someone else. Like, they can't
Yeah.
like
No
they-
matter how much they get screwed by them, they'll be like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah, exactly.
let's fucking go.
It's literally like
Let's
my
go.
life is for Elon. Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. The
what
fucking
are-
Redditors,
Wait,
dude.
this
is
The
the-
fucking
this is
Redditors, like, yo, Elon like Tony Stark, bro. He just like me. Like,
Wait,
Jesus
this is
Christ.
the brainwash. This is the brainwash of the
Yeah.
system. Like whether you have money or not, whether you have capital, you have the same concept of capital. Like you believe in the same. That's fucking
Dude,
incredible.
Elon
Exactly. Oh my god.
Elon
Oh my
is
goodness.
a
dude.
psyop, bro. Like,
Dude,
Facts,
how the hell do you worship like some dude who's like literally using like
totally
child
not.
slaves
Dude,
and like
yeah, okay.
and like
You know what
cobalt
my
mines,
favorite
dude?
part- my favorite part about it is like they like ride him for like being like they're
For
like
being normal.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Like
He
whenever
just
he,
like me, billionaire, just like me.
whenever he posts a meme, they're like,
Oh my
wow.
god.
Elon watch hentai like me.
Yeah.
Elon needs
crazy.
impact
Yeah,
funds.
totally.
Daddy,
I
Elon,
like-
dude. Oh my
I
goodness, dude.
respect that so hard because like I can't believe like I'm not I'm too selfish to like to be on
Those-
one
those-
other person's pee so hard.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, right,
Like,
dude.
it's crazy.
I've been thinking for this, like, I've been talking about this to anybody who would listen for so long. Like, when people compare Elon Musk to Tony Stark, it's like if we just break it down, let's just think about it. Tony Stark is a horrible person. Okay, let me break this down. Okay, let me break this down. Tony Stark has the technology with himself, with just himself. He has the R&D to like make like anything. Like just with Ultron, he can make a robot, right? Like he can make his own. Like Ultron, just with his AI, he could just like make the robot. And then like when Tony's like designing stuff, he could just use like the hard light technology, right, to just like design it. And then the R&D, like all the manufacturing is like completely automated. So he could like it just makes it by itself. He has the technology to create a post-scarcity society. Like there does not need to be no labor ever needs to be done like anymore. And like they're like, oh, but what about the energy?
Yeah.
He has fusion. He literally has the key to unlimited energy.
He can power a star.
yeah.
Dude, also, bro, he had the glove with all the stones,
Dude,
bro.
facts,
He warped
facts.
reality.
Like he could do all that. Dude,
He just wants to LARP, bro. Like he has the technology to make a post-scarcity society and the energy to infinitely fuel it, right? Like nothing ever needs to be manufactured again. Nothing ever needs to. No fuel has to be burned ever to manufacture those things. So that there's no more scarcity, right? Like
the
robots do
Avengers
literally
are
everything.
actually a psyop.
But he's like, he's
They
like,
do.
no, I wanna
If you
LARP that superhero, bro.
Dude, wait. The Avengers created Thanos, bro. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and all the freaking LARPers in the MCU, all the citizens are be like, bro, Tony Stark just like me. He just like me.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Nice
Wait.
meme, Tony.
Wait, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly.
Like I remember seeing that video of like Tony Stark. Well, that's like unreal. Like I see a video on YouTube of Tony Stark like testifying in Congress, right? Like that's like what real people do too.
Exactly.
And, like
That's Mark
and then
Zuckerberg.
at the end of it, I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. He could like point a slab of glass at a TV to hack the TV.
Exactly.
And then at the end, he's like, I just privatized world peace, baby. I'm like, this sucks. This is so ass. And then everybody in the comment is like, that was so badass. I'm like, y'all like suck a virtual character's cock so hard. This is so fucking sad.
Wait,
He just like me.
is that
He
like
just
a
like
valid
me.
strategy though? Like if you have one singular force that's so OP, like,
Yeah.
and is like good, like a good guy.
Cincinnati.
Can you like is society is like world peace actually like achieved? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but like we can see that like Tony Stark
That's-
obviously did not achieve world peace.
well, no, but
That's
like
some-
their
that's some
issue is,
modernist
like
bullshit.
intergalactic issue. You know, like
Yeah.
Why is
Wait, yo,
okay,
we cannot.
dude? Like literally,
trust-
like we don't want to give the public fusion energy. What if the terrorists get it? Like this man like will literally sacrifice the entire Earth. The global warming, like the fucking Earth will become like a magma-filled rock in the next eon. He just like, what if terrorists get it? Like what if that guy get the arc reactor? What if they're more Iron Man? I'm not the only Iron Man. It's like what the shit?
wait, but
guy's
actually,
a
okay,
dick,
okay,
dude.
not to like sympathize, right? But I'm just thinking like there's some like you know like sometimes like people like you need to like what is it like fix some of the brainwashing within society to like
Yeah.
otherwise like I don't know like I feel like right now if you gave everyone the ability to basically like whatever right like I don't know right
Like if you're saying if all of us were plopped in a post-scarcity society, is that what you're saying?
like somewhat like I don't know like if you gave everyone the ability to do something very extreme like I feel like
Like the Purge?
no like something extreme that can be really good and potentially really bad. I don't know okay this is all hypothetical but like I do
Yes,
feel like
this is his
there's
thought.
like certain groups of people that would like kill a lot of people
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
because
Wait.
they believe that like not everyone should have this
Yeah.
thing.
Me.
Wait, that's so like.
Bro, if you
I
see the Iron Man
have
suit, bro,
I have to have it.
Wait, that's so interesting, right?
Nobody
Like,
else.
that's every president of the United States, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, that's like so like the dissonance. Like, oh, you know, yes, democracy, like yes, pluralism, but also like we're still like so committed to like this like a modernist like philosopher, planner, ruler person
Oh,
who's
yeah.
like so benevolent and then thinking about he's got it all down.
Big brain, big brain.
He's
infallible.
big brain. No,
This
yeah.
one person, you know, and we would only trust
Dude, that's
that one
that's what the
person.
people. That's what the fucking QAnon people think about Trump. They think like Trump's
So
like
facts,
playing
that's facts.
like some 4D chess game to drain the swamp and eradicate like like dude. The
No,
people,
actually,
This is
yeah.
amazing. It's
the
amazing.
people who believe in QAnon, like bro, those like what John was saying, those are the most selfless people, bro. Like the amount that Trump supporters got screwed by Trump, but still they're like, yo, he the big brain, big PP, big PP energy. He's gonna drain the swamp. He's gonna like Big Daddy Donald's gonna fucking like restructure the world in order to put our supporters on top. It's like Jesus Christ, dude. Like when will these people just like wake up and just realize that Donald Trump like he doesn't know what he's doing, dude?
Also,
Like he's not putting on a show. He's not putting on a show. He's not the outsider. He's just the dude who's fucking like he
Wait, dude,
just
but I feel
stumbled
like
his
he
way into
hella-
the White House and he's just like doing whatever his cabinet tells him to do, dude.
Okay,
Like he's a
valid,
puppet.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a puppet. He's a puppet. And what,
He is a
John?
puppet.
No, I was just gonna say like at least the controlling body, whatever the scale is, like the cabinet, the government, like
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. So like
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Like Illuminati type shit.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
Low key,
yeah.
low key.
I think everybody
can't-
wants to reassure themselves that like somebody at the top knows what they're doing.
No,
you know,
but,
like somebody
I-
knows
like-
what they're doing.
No, yeah.
Like knows
I
what
think so.
I guess like oh wait, okay. Here's the thing, like a question, right? Like do you my thing is like they know what they're doing in the bad stuff. that
Right,
they're
right.
doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you think that's even true? Like do you think they're just like flailing around and somehow it just screws over like most people and
I think
So like nobody knows what they're doing.
yeah, like literally nobody knows, but like
I
just
think
because
at
of
least
how they
like
are.
the belief that they know what they're doing, it's also stemming from like the capital, like the meritocracy. People at the top, like they must know what they're doing, right? It's like the people who are powerful like have to at least have some form
Like,
of
whether
like
it's good or bad, huh?
like
Right?
competency, you know, like they
Yeah.
know they're doing what's right, but they're like they're real big brains, so they're doing it to make money. But it's all intentional, you know. It's like
Yeah.
it's a big brain strategy. But like,
Yeah, damn.
They
That's
just
has it
bad.
crossed
justify
their
it.
mind? Has it crossed
It
their minds
just-
that maybe they're just fucking stupid, dude?
I also feel like
Just
they at
stupid.
least know the way to get themselves more money. Like,
No, that's
yeah.
facts.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
I
facts.
think
totally.
also like I don't want to discredit
Which I don't
them
think is
too
a
much.
very good. Sorry. Were you gonna say? Were you gonna continue? I
Yeah, I was, but like,
Yeah.
don't worry, like you started.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, but you're saying the way to get you more money was like, which in our society we say like that is the measure of like intelligence, you know, like somebody
Right.
is a genius if they can somehow
No,
like
I'm just saying like from my own
generate a
perspective.
bunch of capital. Okay, yeah.
Like
Okay.
I feel like they at least know that they're getting themselves more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether or not they know like the scale at which they're screwing over the rest of the world or whatever. Like, you know, like they at least know like their
I
bank
don't think
account
they
number.
know. I don't think anybody could do that in good conscience.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
if
I
Damn,
don't
yeah,
believe
that's
Oh.
I
Really?
feel like certain people could like
I'm willing to believe that.
No, I really
politicians
think
are,
it's like a framing thing. Like I feel like people do bad things like within a frame of like what they think the world is like.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
and like the richer you get, like you genuinely get I feel like more detached from like what is like normal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and
That's true.
as the top 1% of the world, we also do that. Like whenever we
Yeah,
buy
totally, yeah.
whenever we buy like any clothes from like anywhere, like
We're
if you go
supporting
down
slave
if you go
labor.
down the chain enough, there's slavery. Like if you go
Yeah,
down
right. Yeah.
there's some like, but then where do you draw the line, right? Like is the person who's painting the lines for the runway for the jet plane cut off? Is he killing the kids? You know, like how far do you? It's so hard to like think like how far like how does blame work, right? Like
no, but
obviously.
I feel like it's like blame. Ooh, okay. If we're all like just like calling out things that like work within the meritocracy or whatever,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
individualistic society, like blame, I feel like assigning blame is also kind of like an individualistic society thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's true.
facts.
like it's like we're all collectively responsible, but like yeah, I don't know. I don't
No,
know. Like
no,
I'm
that's true.
tempted to
buy
blame
that.
like the super
Yeah.
rich people. What
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like as a
You know,
collective,
like-
like
Yeah.
we
Right,
are
right.
all contributing to this like monster that's eating away at the humanity of like distant like other.
Yeah. Wait,
people.
dude, the only people you can't blame, like I saw this like no name tweet a little while ago about basically like she has like hell haters being like, yo, like why aren't you like what like you have an iPhone type people, right? Like,
That's what people say about Greta Thunberg, dude. Like
yeah. Wait, but like the no name tweet was basically saying like, yeah, like it's like apparently not a good strategy to defeat or like even tear down aspects of capitalism by like completely separating yourself from it because like currently you need it to survive, right? Because like
Yeah.
she referred to like basically like people who like don't have like homes and are like living on the street, like they basically exist almost like in terms of
Independent.
participation,
Oh.
they don't participate in
Right.
capitalism.
yeah, but they're not like sticking it to the man in any way. They're just
Right, like they're still getting screwed over,
Yeah.
basically. Like no matter like how much you try to not participate, like the man or like the whatever is still gonna like
the big brother.
yeah, like
Yeah.
so like it's like not at least like currently given how entrenched we are within the system, like it's not necessary like you can't really like we've mentioned, like you can't it's like almost impossible to like live with outside of that. Like
I mean, it is possible if you like live in the wild. If you become a wild man, if you become like a mountain man, become self-sustenant, I guess.
Yeah, but like even in that way, I guess like well, I feel like you could still get like very easily screwed over. Like they're just gonna chop your forest down. Like
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
like you can't live in a vacuum.
Also, like if you just live by yourself in the wild, do you just participate in a capitalist system that has like one person in it? Like, just kind of like,
Curious.
like exploit the
Curious.
nature.
You hate capitalism. Yet you
Wait,
trade
but,
with the
like, it's so
natives
interesting.
for nuts,
Yeah.
for meat, for hides. Curious.
Yeah, you have a farm.
Yeah, and then you're
You
killing
hate capitalism.
you're killing
Yet
the father of like three. You know, like. This,
Wait, one
Yeah.
family on a farm is not capitalism. I'm pretty sure.
so like it's like
no, they
really,
trade
like-
they trade like nuts for berries, and then no, you trade your water for plant growth. That's capitalism. That's the free market of nature.
No, capitalism is like when you just generate more exchange value out of exchange value. It's like the stock market. You like generate value out of nothing.
Right.
Bro, I'm buy pumpkin seeds. They're gonna go to the moon, bro.
Wait, yo, that's what
Yeah,
the
that's
people.
actually-
Wait, dude, that's capitalism, dude. Planting stuff in season. If you stock up seeds and then plant them in season and they grow better in that season, that's investing, dude. That's capitalism.
Yeah, it is because like you're.
No,
It's
dude,
not, it's
no,
not,
no,
it's
it's not. It's literally capital. Okay, actually,
You're-
though, like capitalism. I know that was like partially a meme, but I
Yeah.
do feel like capitalism tries to like use, like, okay, this might be too like
tinfoil hat.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
this is a
but, like,
thought, right?
but, like they
Guys,
like
let me preface this. This is John's thought.
yes,
All right.
exactly. Like it's like it like uses like language that shouldn't be like doesn't need to live within the system to kind of like claim everything almost.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah, exactly. Like
seeds
a
and
capitalist,
stuff.
a capitalist would use what you just said, Raymond, to like unironically defend capitalism.
Yeah, like as a
Yeah.
Like
metaphor,
use like an appeal to
as
nature to kind of say like it's the
Like,
natural
actually,
order of.
like I feel like a lot of like you just like take all the vocabulary, like if like you can steal the vocabulary of like communists and
Yeah.
flip it into something that's capitalist, like they're actively trying to do that, I feel like,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
some
yeah.
room, you know, like how do we like shift that language over so that people don't have the words to describe the struggle they go through or like the shit they go through, you know.
Appropriation of terms.
I think it is pretty interesting how naturalistic it's framed as. You know,
Right.
like it's framed as like this is the order of
Right,
nature.
right,
You know, like
totally, yeah.
man inherently is through self, and we are subverting like some form of like evil naturalistic tendency.
Right.
Right, dude. Okay, how was social Darwinism taught to us, like in high school? Was it framed as a negative thing or just like a thing?
I
Like,
interpreted it as like a
Slightly
negative thing.
Yeah, I remember learning about it, but I don't remember any condemnation of it.
Right, I
It's
don't remember
weird
that
that-
either. I thought we were just like taught it as is, and it's
Yeah.
like a terribly like racist thing.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
literally like
yeah.
it's literally eugenics.
Yeah,
Wait,
like,
and
I
the-
was like, wait, like relearning about it now, like,
Yeah.
over and over. It's like no one fucks with this concept.
Yeah.
Why was it like taught to us?
wait, bro. Speak for yourself, bro.
Okay, yeah, my bad, yeah. Okay,
Wait,
this is my
was-
thought.
I'm
Okay,
Avatar,
speaking for
the last
myself.
social Darwinist, bro.
Wait, no, but that's like I remember social Darwinism being taught with like the gospel of wealth. Like
Really?
right. Yeah, like
What's the
Carnegie and all the
gospel of wealth?
it's
Yeah,
like
what
rich
is that?
people like in like you know like they fucking donate this library, donate this shit. Like it's like they make everyone better. It's like they taught it right next to they taught like these ideas together because they're kind of
Yeah.
new, right? Like that kind
Right.
of like you know early like late 19th century, early 20th century like America shit.
Yeah.
Like
also
gospel of
framing
wealth is so clearly like some sort of romanticization of like wealth. Like look at
Yeah,
what you can do.
yeah.
Look at what this one
Literally
person can
the
do.
gospel of wealth.
Trickle down economics.
Dude, trickle
Oh,
my ass, dude.
Bet.
So-
Wait. And the more fucked up thing is like this like framing of like we are taught that like other countries try to like brainwash you, you know, like US tells it as it is, but like when you look through the framing of like US's like coverage of certain historical things, like if you just like look back on it, like you were just a kid, right? But when you learned about it, like and you look back on it, it's like, dude, that is so fucked. Why didn't they frame it as like how
Yeah.
fucked it was?
Yeah.
Like the Spanish-American War and like the USS Maine, it's like, oh yeah, it probably actually wasn't sunk by the Spanish. It's like the US just used it as as like a fucking excuse to go to war with
It's so funny.
Spain and then just like take it of its resources, you know? It's like,
Like-
yo, and then you look back and they're like, yo, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Like
that is
Or like
they're, like, looking for an excuse to just like go and like fucking ransack the like
Yeah,
like what the fuck
Yeah.
is
Or
Yeah,
like
it's
the
fucking
Trail
insane.
of Tears, dude. It's just like
Oh my
painted as like
Wait, yeah.
relocation, bruh. It's like,
Wait, dude, wait, that's so crazy because like even now, like I feel like like they teach it as like a negative thing, right? Like
Yeah.
because like it's almost undeniable. Like you can't even like say anything. Like
yeah.
I'm sure there's people who like say that it's like a necessary evil. Like that's pretty fucked already. Like but
Exactly.
Dude, I can't even like think of
People say slavery is a necessary evil. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, yeah, yeah.
insane. It's
Oh my
fucking
God.
insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
like I feel like Trail of Tears wasn't even taught in a way that like made you realize how fucked up it is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like framed as a negative thing, but it's like, oh yeah, that was one of the failures of
yeah. I was
Wait, no, it's like that.
Hey,
Like,
yo,
detached.
cheers,
Wait,
fuck,
they-
dude.
they didn't teach it as a thing. They taught it as like something that Andrew Jackson did. Like
Yeah.
many things he did. There was
This
Trail
is
of
like
Tears.
something, it's not just like, like Andrew Jackson, he like dissolved the bank, he dissolved the national bank, he got in a duel, like a pistol duel. Oh yeah, and also he relocated 99% of the Native Americans and like basically genocided them. It's like, wait, what? Like do a double take? Like
Yeah.
what? What was that last thing again? It's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like what? You talk about dissolving the national bank?
All,
No, I'm talking about the fucking genocide that you guys just
it's
skipped
all
over.
terrible context. It's
Exactly. Exactly. There's like
So bad.
there's erasure of U.S. atrocities. It
Yeah,
like
for
Totally.
sure, for sure.
oh
Totally.
my goodness, dude.
Totally.
Another thing, the freaking Panama Canal. You guys remember learning about the Panama Canal? And then there's like, oh yeah, like the U.S. casually overthrew the government and like installed in like they like installed in like a fucking like puppet
Yeah.
government
You're
so that they could get a fucking river through a fucking like what the fuck? Like these guys legit overthrew the government so
Yeah.
that their ships could go through the fucking Panama, dude. Like
Bay of Pigs. It was such a disaster. Like, wait, y'all were trying to overthrow a government.
Yeah.
Like, what
and they had
the fuck?
and they had nuclear weapons, you know? Like what
Yeah.
whose idea was this? Oh my goodness, dude. Another thing, and like like just like what John was saying about like you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who would like not denounce the Trail of Tears as like an atrocity. Like the strategy now is like for things that are like widely regarded as like atrocities, like they just try to reframe it, especially for something like Martin Luther King. Like they're like they realize like if Martin Luther King was living like right now, they would like fuck. Oh yeah, like this dude's like,
I would hate him, bro.
he's disturbing the
Hate him.
peace. He's like not like he's like he's like meddling with like he needs to be doing things like more diplomatically, like stuff like that,
Dude, they hate
But, like-
Kaepernick, dude. Of course.
Exactly,
They
right?
hate
I
MLK.
feel like it's crazy, like it's so crazy because there's so many like moving parts. But then Nike loves Nike loves Kaepernick. But like Nike is like one of the biggest capitalist like beasts
Yeah.
out there. Like
Yeah.
it's
But it makes
so
them
like
money,
fucked
so they,
up. Like
so they support him.
yeah,
It's
so like
so
it's
fucked
all
up.
about like I was reading this book talking about how like neoliberalism is like a huge fan of just like taking things that are like revolutionary
like
and just,
co-opting stuff.
yeah, and like commodifying it, like
Yeah.
skateboard culture, graffiti culture, and like all of that, like rap, and like just
Yeah.
taking it and like making it really profitable to where the people within those groups
They don't
and
even like
cultures-
recognize it anymore. It's like a shell of its former.
or no, like
origin.
they can't escape it because it's so
Oh.
beneficial for them to be a part of it. Like think
I
about it,
see.
like let's say you're a part of some some kind of subculture, right? That's like anti-government, like punk or something, right? And like let's just say they like give you millions of dollars to make punk music. It just like fucks it up. Like
Yeah.
it's undeniable. Like the money is like because you're within the system, like you low-key need it to like it would be great to have this money, but like they use that like incentive to basically squash out all of like the anti or like counterculture.
Totally.
And it's pretty crazy. Like all of like any kind of subculture that like sprouts up like instantly, I think is like now like pretty effectively enveloped by like some kind of capitalist.
No, that's true. That's pretty
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Like also like Pepsi shit, like the Kendall
Yeah,
Jenner.
Kendall
Like,
Jenner,
they
yeah.
literally use it. You're using like protest as like an icon for your like giant
Advertisement. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like or like calling Kaepernick, like Nike, like okay, like you're gonna use like extremely oppressive like factories in like the third world or like I don't know, like oppressed countries, but then simultaneously like prop up people as like a voice against oppression or something. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like there's such a disconnect because like I don't know, like you can use like symbols in that kind of way, I guess.
It's like the idea of like golden shackles. It's something that limits you, but it's like it's not something you can refuse.
Yeah,
it-
pretty
it-
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're not in you're not in a position to refuse. Like
right.
you
Like
need
basically,
you need
it's like it's too good. Like you can't refuse it. Like
Right.
yeah, golden
Yeah.
shackles. Yeah.
yeah.
That's the tragedy.
It's sad.
That's like so sad. Like saddest episode of Black Mirror ever, bro. Like 15 million credits. Like fucking-
Dude, freaking saddest episode of Black Mirror is just the world, dude.
The saddest episode of Black Mirror is when
The mirror became white.
White mirror.
facts.
That's
Black
great.
You
Mirror
know
made by
mirrors are
white people.
green apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know that.
yeah.
That's so
That's
rad.
that's how
Have
that's
you
a
done the
TikTok
Inception
fact.
thing where you put like two mirrors?
Yeah,
to
it gets
each other?
greener and greener.
Yeah, it gets greener.
Yeah, damn.
I think. Well, does that depend on the material of the mirror, though?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
but
Like,
behind
perfect
the
mirrors probably are less that, right? It's just like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but there's no such thing as
Well,
a
like,
perfect
yeah.
mirror, right?
No,
Because just
yeah.
law of thermodynamics, it can't be
we're
perfect.
all mirrors, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, philosopher Lou.
No, just like if you
Like-
define mirror as something that reflects
Reflects
light,
light. Yeah.
you know, like we're all mirrors.
Damn, Brandon's
Dang.
forehead low key a mirror. Bro.
Bad.
oh,
that's crazy, bro.
Well, yo, Ashov shines so bright, bruh.
I'm bright like a diamond.
Yeah.
Wait, I was.
Came from pressure.
Wait, I need some water, guys. Like,
Yeah.
All right, let's
I
take
need
a
to get rid of some
let's take a
from my
water
body.
break.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
take a water
take
break.
a water break.
Oh, smells good though. Yo.
Damn, both of you all came back at like the same time.
yo, this is the stuff they give you at the vac center.
15
What's the-
minutes.
what's the
and
900?
That's the time when I'm allowed to leave. They observe you for 15 minutes to make sure you don't like become a zombie or something.
Oh, you do?
We should talk about the zombie apocalypse, bruh. What would you do in the
Can that
zombie
be our next topic?
Alright, sure. Okay, but wait, this is gonna be cut out, so you're gonna have to somehow transition. Oops, bro. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna just
was the
start it
zombie-
by
Oh,
saying,
yeah, wait, okay, we got this. Like, oh shit, like, dude, do you feel like our iPhones are making us zombies?
I don't know, 5G waves, bro.
I actually feel like that's some facts, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
5G wave. Look how backlit I am, dude. I'm so dark.
Oh, yeah, wait. Earlier your lighting was better. Wait, did you have your like RGB light on?
You
or
turned on a window. You opened a window or something.
Yeah, I opened a window because it was like depressing and dark in here.
Oh,
but
okay, that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this fine? Because like this, I'm like really red. A lot of
Yeah,
red.
you're a little red, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
That which is leftist and nice. Wait, yo, why is Republican Party like red, but red is the common color? It's the socialist color. you know
Dude, that's the
what I'm saying?
co-op thing.
That is, dude, that's so fucked. That's actually so fucked.
Yeah.
Che Guevara was a capitalist.
Dude, I love the socialist like icon, bro. It's like a fucking.
Wait,
rose.
Mark, Che Guevara is Cuban.
Oh, he
bro.
is? Oh man.
Yeah,
my
you
bad.
hella were like, he's not Cuban.
Wait, but was he active in Cuba?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he
his
was
whole
freaking
thing
Fidel
is Cuba.
Castro's
Yeah.
right-hand man.
Oh, wait, he was killed in Cuba? I
He's
thought he
the-
died in
he's the-
Venezuela or something.
No, the T-shirt of like the dude is Che Guevara.
Guevara de Terra. Wait, no, yeah. Cuba. I'm pretty sure, like in their
They had
anthem,
him
they're
both.
like will be like Che or something like that. Like.
Oh, because I keep reading about like his final days, and there's all Bolivia and stuff. So I'm like
Oh yeah.
thinking
That's
about.
LeBron.
I forgot that he's Cuban.
Yeah, that's his whole
Bro,
thing.
he's
you know,
wearing a
like,
Cuban, bro. He's got ice.
Damn true.
All right, you guys got to think about how to transition it before Brandon comes back, bro.
Zombies,
Oh, he's
Zombies
visited China.
nuts.
That's so based.
Zombies nuts.
Wait, W.E.B. Du Bois was in China too.
Bro, it's
That
Du Bois.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold
I
up.
always say Du Bois because
We're
of
the
this,
boys.
this
Hold up. We're the boys. We're the boys.
like, this dude in robotics, and that fucked up like my whole pronunciation of that name.
Robotics.
Yeah, because there's a Dubois in robotics, and like I kept saying that for like years, and like.
All right, he's back, bro. You guys gotta think of it quick, bro.
Okay, wait. Whoa, Brandon, that's a cool shirt, my guy.
Oh, thank
What the fuck?
Wait, no, we never had
Oh,
that.
No, it comes in like the grad photo pack, right?
yeah, I bought it. It's
Nice.
Damn,
My
wait,
man-
you.
My man goes off, bro.
Damn,
How
that's
give
like.
money to the Doherty family?
Making
I
money,
think
the
it's
only
goes to
thing on my
Justin's, I think.
resume.
I think it goes
it's
to our yearbook
Justin.
company. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the yearbook company.
Justin? Justice?
Just-
Wait, yo, Justin Bieber sampled MLK in his new album.
Yo, yeah, I heard
It's
that.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Like in what way?
And he's
It's
like,
one of the songs is called MLK Interlude.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy, dude.
And it uses an MLK speech where it ends on the word justice, and it's like that's the name of his album. It's like so cringe. Wait, I gotta help my grandpa.
Oh, wait, dude. Y'all not
Apparently
fucking with
it's like-
JB, bro? Y'all don't fuck with JB?
My
I'll fuck
dad-
every
The album
JB.
was okay. The album was okay.
wait, I
I mean,
thought
no.
Peach was an okay song.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, I haven't listened to
I
anything.
like-
I
I
have
like
not
Peaches,
listened to it, bro.
I like
I'm not
Peaches. I like
gonna.
Peaches.
I'm not
Peaches
gonna
is not
listen to
bad.
that. I don't
Dude,
think
I've been
until
a
it comes
I've
out.
been a believer since day one, bro.
Listen, hella
Yeah.
fan.
Yo, I would have.
I don't really fuck with this new shit though.
Yeah, dude, I'm still on Baby Wave. Not gonna lie.
Yo,
Facts,
facts.
dude.
I'm
Facts,
still on My
dude.
World 2.0. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, dude, me and Brandon were talking about this. Why did everybody hate Justin Bieber when we were like conditioned
Dude,
to hate Justin Bieber when we were kids?
him, bro. We
Exactly.
wanted-
That's exactly why.
It's
That's
like
exactly
the
why.
default,
Dude, he
bro.
was too much swag, bro. Like,
When I was a kid, I
Wait, you
hated
didn't have
K-pop,
swag
I
during
never-
Babyface? You had swag during
dude,
the
what? No,
Bro,
he
what?
had-
No, he had swag during Baby, dude. Did
Dude,
you see
come
the
on, like-
music video?
when he put his
Wait.
hair up, bro. That
No.
was peak swag, bro.
Okay,
That
that
was
was
peak
okay.
swag.
That was no.
Yeah.
Like he defined swag at each of those
Yeah.
eras. Like even
Oh.
with the hair, like that was. Swag,
Yeah,
bro.
because there were a bunch of like like
Yeah.
those panel. They always had the bowl cut like
You're
that.
flipping like mad, bro.
Hey, put that mic down. There's like nothing.
We don't hear
Nothing.
you.
We could not hear anything.
You were
Nothing
silent.
came out.
Yeah, we were too funny.
I think you have like.
Oh, I was
auto-
on mute. I was
Oh.
on mute. You know the like those memes that you'd see on like 4-panel and like they'd have like those.
You're flipping,
God,
bro.
you're
Clipping
cutting out.
again.
I'm clipping again.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think you
I
have
think it might
automatic
be-
gain thing.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Discord.
Like I think it probably cuts either at the top end or the bottom. Like
Yeah.
both.
He's got the automatic gain.
Yeah,
Have I been cutting throughout the podcast?
Not that
So
bad.
do I.
Not that.
Sporadic.
A little bit, but not that bad.
Damn, that sucks.
No,
It's
but like
okay.
we could understand you, so like I'm pretty sure like all the audience, could.
Points
Alright,
made
alright.
and taken.
Definitely. But y'all can hear me now, though, right? I'll just
Yeah.
be at this distance from the mic from now on. All right. What were we? 3, 2, 1, and we are back. Welcome back to the Skyway Podcast. It's your hosts Raymond Shee and Brandon Nguyen.
Yep.
We're joined by our esteemed guests, Mark Liu of Mark Liu Music, and Jonathan Choi of the head of
CS:GO.
CS:GO
Valve
game.
Corp.
Yeah, he official representation of gold ladder.
No, we're in silver, but
Oh, my
we're
bad.
sober.
Soon.
Soon though, soon.
yeah, actually, damn.
I
With
believe.
at the speed at which John is progressing, I wouldn't be surprised. Like he's like,
Dude,
Oh,
we
sure,
need
John's
here
cracked,
the
John's
team
cracked.
needs both Brandon and Marco, like, and me, like, at the same time.
No, those
at the
three.
same
If we're
level.
wait,
Like,
is
in
it
order
picking
to
it
climb.
up?
we're the only
Hello?
ones in silver 4, so like, you know, that's like.
Who's the runner up? Who's the close runner up?
It's like Mark and Sam in the next
Oh.
subcategory.
damn.
Yeah. Mark's got to be better than Sam,
And
bro.
PJ's
Sam's
like,
mid.
Hello.
PJ's like, he's like a little,
Hello?
he's not bad, right? Like, I'm not saying he's bad
Hello?
to the level, you know what I mean? Like,
He needs to aspire for great.
I'm really convinced that he's playing with a magic mouse. I feel like if we give him like a real mouse, everything's gonna be different.
Wait, can you guys hear
No,
Sam
me?
plays on
Yeah.
PC, doesn't he?
Oh shit.
no, we're talking
PJ.
about PJ.
Oh, PJ. Yeah,
Wait,
PJ
can
plays on
Can
the
you guys
PC.
hear me
He
or
definitely
no?
plays on a magic
Yeah,
mouse.
PJ's like grinding in the trenches right now. Like, it's like you gave him like, oh, you told him to dig a
Okay.
tunnel, and you only gave him like a
A
spoon.
chopstick. Yeah.
Wait, he does that in Minecraft, dude. In Minecraft, like he didn't even get he like stayed with a stone pickaxe and he like literally carved out like an entire fucking mountain, dude. Like I was like, dude, how can I like
That's
dude,
amazing.
like dude, I have like an efficiency 5 diamond pickaxe. Like I'll give it to you. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm on my
I
grind.
just
bro.
think like at some point you're playing different games. You know, it's not that you're like better, so much better, but
Yeah.
you're just playing like completely different games.
It's just weird because like in Minecraft there comes a point where you can reach post scarcity, bro. Like you for real, like Minecraft, the end game is just post scarcity, and then you're just like building whatever you want to
Yeah,
build. That's
yeah,
that's the part of Minecraft that I really like. Like you sling through the
Wait,
mud,
what?
and then you're
Yeah.
done, and you don't have to worry about like food
That's
or
crazy, 'cause,
anything,
like,
and then you
collectively,
can build whatever you want to build.
collectively, like the
Yeah.
worst part of Minecraft is like the oh, I guess it's the transition phase, like between
Yeah.
the grind and then true like freedom.
True.
Yeah, so
We've
that's where the
never
capitalist
never
phase-
reached like true
Transition
post
phase.
scarcity.
Yeah,
dude.
because like anytime we get
close.
there, we just get bored, you know. Like
We
it's
were
too
hella
boring.
close, dude.
No,
That's
wait,
why.
but it's actually the
Hello? Okay.
you know life.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why.
Dude
I
has a
wanted, like,
full ass like statue. Like I just like
we're just like damn, like this shit isn't worth it.
yeah.
man.
I don't really have like
that's
a
why,
roof
that's
over
why,
my
that's
bed.
why when I reboot the server, I was like, yo, I want to do this collectively so I could,
We're like
I could share the grind. But then by that time, like the hype was done, bro.
We're
Like,
like
there
the
was no hype.
anti-Elon Musk stand.
Wait, I
Like,
legitimately-
we see the highest level, and we're just like, there's no way we can.
Like
achieve
yo,
it.
bro. Like instead of being like, yo, he just like me, bro.
Like,
plays
you
Minecraft
built different,
too.
bro.
This is why we need more right wingers on Minecraft, bro.
Wait, yo,
We
I'm
need
hella
a-
like I'm hella
Let's start
not
sucking my
ready.
dick, bro. Fortune 3, infinite
Well,
money.
that's
glitch.
what will
What are you not
finally
ready for?
radicalize them, bro.
Wait,
What?
Mark, what were you
That's
saying?
what will finally radicalize them. Oh, sorry.
Exactly, bro.
Oh no, I was gonna say something meme. Yeah, it's chill.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, dude, the free market doesn't work in Minecraft, dude. It just doesn't work.
Wait, yo, I hate the free
Collectivism.
market in Minecraft.
Collectivism
Let me tell
is the best way to progress in Minecraft.
Oh, facts. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
Dude,
Like
let
you
me
can
tell
make
how hard
a you can
staying
make a
on the
thesis
server.
about it, like for real, bro.
Okay.
True. Wait, you could probably use Minecraft as like a place to, okay, like to run some experiments, like
Yeah, like social
Yeah,
experiments.
yeah.
yeah,
Like a more ethical way to do the Stanford prison experiment, bro.
For being in Minecraft.
Exactly, bro.
You gotta like, can you like
Nah,
simulate
The
real
psychological
real
damage is
people?
definitely there, I feel like.
For
think-
Minecraft Stanford
Yeah,
prison
dude.
experiment?
Wait,
Yeah,
no
like-
way, bruh.
Wait, for sure. I feel like the physical pain isn't there, but like
The mental pain,
annoying
dude.
as that.
You're like that immersed when you're
Dude,
hell
I'm
yeah,
so
hell
jealous,
totally.
dude. I want to be that immersed in my game, bro.
Dude,
I'm playing like CS:GO.
Wait,
and
that's
every
really-
shot you miss. Damn, that's why you get hella frustrated, bro. Cause like you literally feel the disappointment of your brothers in arms, bro.
In
That's
the
why,
trenches, bro.
I miss a shot and it's like, damn, like, okay.
Wait,
I
wait.
honestly,
Mark.
like, I feel terrible playing CS because I feel like I get so frustrated and I ruin everyone's time, you know?
Wait, Mark,
Okay,
is
dude,
it-
that's like, dude, you should actually like. I feel like this would be such fun stuff to unpack in therapy, bro. Like,
I think I
fun
should.
and productive, bro. Like, you should go to therapy and just dump all this shit out, bro. That
I
could
feel like I
work.
should.
That's
I think
actually-
there's so
Mark,
many things I
Mark,
want to tell
Mark.
someone.
Mark, isn't that basically like Roblox roleplay servers?
I've never played Roblox. I don't know.
Roblox, dude, Roblox is so fucking like awesome, dude.
I feel like I would really
Facts.
enjoy like
Roblox
those
is actually the future, bro. Not gonna lie.
Roblox is so dope. I used to
You
play
guys,
it all the
you
time.
guys need to buy into the Roblox IPO. I mean, well, it already
You know the fucking.
No, it's still popular.
Yeah, I know, but
Like, it's gonna get even bigger. Like
That's
in
true.
Like the stock market.
I got a good.
That's what he's referring to.
I bought in a good amount of the initial.
Nice. Wait, what about the what do you guys think about the RPG GTA 5 game? You know, like the streamers have like.
Oh, like the role playing ones, right?
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are
yeah,
fire,
that's
bro. Like that's so fun. Like you can actually like run around and like kill people in your gangs and shit. Like that's
Yeah,
so
I
sick.
feel like I would really like get into like an RPG. I don't know why.
Bro,
Dude, yeah, wait, cause you're
D&D,
so
bro.
immersed, bro.
that's all I'm saying, bro.
Dude, let me tell you how
D&D.
like Minecraft like immersion. Like the thing I hate the most about creative
Yeah.
mode is that like I don't have like there's like hunger isn't a thing.
Yeah, there's no
Well, I
immersion.
feel like that's not even immersion though. That's like everyone doesn't like creative is like not that fun for like.
It's like
That
it's
way,
it's not like I want to.
You can only
it's
play
just, like,
creative
I feel
for
like I
long.
need to eat because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm real. You know, like I'd like to real this like creative. Like,
Dude, my man is so immersed. Oh my
That's
goodness.
actually like.
Dude, wait, when
next
Mark
level, dude.
ventures into VR, bro, he's like
Wait,
legit just gonna
wait,
live there,
Mark,
bro.
have
He's
you
just
played
gonna-
Skyrim, Mark?
I have not. I've played
Oh.
Fallout 4 though. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
there's no
Dude,
comparison.
but
No
actually, I
comparison.
feel like the spectrum, like Brandon, is like hella, like pretty immersed in games. Too.
Yeah. Okay,
Wait, yo,
yeah.
fucking
Life is Strange.
Life is
all,
Strange.
Like,
Exactly. That shit like
Just shut
destroyed
up,
me.
bro.
I felt so bad. Like it
I
was
hate
like
all
on my
that.
mind days
Dude,
after,
forget
like
it.
weeks
Wait.
after I
Bro,
played the
it's
game.
reverse
Mark,
time,
play
bro.
Skyrim, dude. Play Skyrim.
Yeah, when I get
Yeah,
that
dude,
PC, I'm
it'll
playing all
be
the video
crazy,
games.
bro. You'll be playing Skyrim and like you will pull up on some like dragon and I don't
Bro,
know.
this guy's never played
It's a
Skyrim.
combat-
No, actually, no, I didn't.
Okay.
And,
It
like,
just sounded
Mark-
like you were making it up as you go.
No, like
Maybe
it'll
it's, like, real.
absorb its soul, and then like you'll feel immense.
Oh,
amount of
yeah, oh my-
freaking-
Wait,
Dude,
but at
Mark,
certain
you'll love
games though,
that
like
game.
Zelda, I don't feel shit.
Oh, really?
Maybe it's the disconnect between third person and first person. Do you think maybe it's that?
No, but he was like positing that GTA would.
Oh
be,
yeah,
like,
GTA. That's true.
extremely
That's true.
immersive.
Is there a first person GTA mod?
No, you
Wait,
can
GTA
enter
5
first
is-
No,
person.
you can
Yeah.
enter first person in it.
Yeah,
But
like you can
GTA
play it first person.
I'm not a big
GTA
fan.
first person mode sucks though.
Yeah,
it's
facts,
just not
facts.
bad.
It's trash.
Why? Is it just like badly?
It's like so. It's like clunky.
It's just not
it's
made
like,
for
yeah.
third
Your gun
person,
is
like-
right here. Your
Yeah.
gun
Yeah,
is
it's
right
just
here.
not made for.
It just
third
like takes up like half your screen.
Like it feels like a bad mod. Like
Yeah.
I see. Damn, that
You
sucks.
feel
bro.
like you're 3 feet tall, which I
Mark,
mean, isn't,
or
like-
or you could play Assassin's Creed and climb rooftops. And
Wait, okay, Assassin's
around
Creed
and
when I
shit.
was in like middle school, dude, that shit was like
That
immense
looked good,
amount of
right?
like I wanted to be that.
Yeah, dude.
I wanted to be
I feel you.
Ezio or whatever.
Yeah,
Wait,
same,
dude, that's-
same.
Oh wait, dude, I hella can I hella can understand
I
that
used to be
sentiment.
like doing this.
You know what? I still do that, dude.
Dude, were you
I
guys?
still
Yeah,
do
did you
that.
guys ever look like how to make a hidden blade
Yeah,
on like
yeah,
YouTube?
yeah.
Dude, that was me, bro.
Yeah.
Like people have like ruler hidden blades like loaded with like rubber bands and shit. I'm like, yo,
y'all were
I need that shit.
fortunate. Y'all were
Yeah,
fortunate.
I'll-
I didn't have a computer that could run that shit.
Damn, wait. Oh yeah, because I got like my school required like Macs, and you could run the first few Assassin's Creed.
Wait, dude,
Whoa.
what games did you guys have on your school computers?
I didn't have I
Like,
only had
at
a personal
school?
computer.
Yeah, like did you guys have like a computer lab where you guys could
Oh,
had
no,
games
no.
on it?
Oh,
In middle
Yeah.
school, or like in the middle school, they gave us computers.
Okay. I remember I had a like in elementary school, once you got to like the higher, because my elementary school went to 6th grade. So once you got to the higher grades, you could like
Relatable.
go onto the computers, and then the computers they had like games like Marble Blast Gold.
Dude, did you play Freddy Fish or something like that?
I have no idea what that
No.
is,
Dude,
dude.
that is an immersive RPG.
Let me
bro.
switch up
Freddy
Freddy Fish.
Fish.
I got it. I
Yeah,
got it. I
Freddy
got it.
Fish. Yo, it's
Wait,
so
can we do a
high.
can we do a 4-person playthrough through Freddy Fish after this,
Wait,
bro?
we actually
I'm
could,
down,
and
I'm
it's
down.
extremely immersive. Like it's a
Freddy
good
Fish.
story. Okay. The last time I
What
played
is this?
literally like the 3rd grade, but
Dude,
it's
that
so
looks
like it's
sick.
gripping. Like
Well, are you sure? Are you sure this is like real looking back to like rose tinted glasses, bro?
It might be. Okay. Dude,
Like I'm pretty sure you're gonna go back. and it's not gonna be as good as.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
Wait,
gonna
that's
be
a
as
hella
as-
good
Let's
rating,
actually play
dude.
through though. Like, let's actually play through
Yeah,
because
I'm
like
down, I'm
I
down.
actually think it's a hella good game. But
Okay,
actually,
let's do it, let's do it.
nostalgia is such a fucked up.
Wait, it
thing,
has
'cause, like,
hella good reviews, but
yeah, like on Steam, right? Like everyone
Yeah.
fucks with it. Like it's crazy.
It's
Like
made by humongous people.
the thing is like nostalgia.
Humongous what?
I used to like. I thought the interview, like this movie. Oh no, not the interview. The internship. Like, I watched that in like 7th grade or something like that, and I thought it was like a good movie then. And then like nostalgia made me really think it was like a great movie, and it is dog shit.
the
it's like-
internship.
I rewatched it with Joanna, and it was just straight dookie. Like
Wait, that's the most embarrassing thing is when you try to put somebody on it.
Dude, yeah, we literally, I was like, yo, this is like such a funny movie. And then we stopped it halfway. Like, it was so bad that we couldn't finish watching it.
The internship. What's it even about?
It's about dude, it's like these cringe lords. The WoW guy, like WoW.
The Zoolander people.
No,
Zoolander's funny, bruh.
no, it's the Marriage Crasher people.
Owen Wilson.
I don't know, bro.
Owen Wilson,
I'm not
yeah.
that versed in comedy movies.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, and they like intern at Google as like 40-year-olds or something like that. And it's like they like, whoa, the old people can bring good ideas to the table too, or something. It's like,
Oh god.
Wait, that
Like-
sounds like a recipe for. That does not sound like a good premise for a movie.
no, like it's kind of cute, like, and it's like actually a Google, right? Like,
Okay.
it's not like it's not like Blue Google or like whatever movie,
Yeah, yeah.
movie-fied version. But like, it's such a bad movie. Like, it's not funny at all.
Damn, that must have been embarrassing if you tried to put her on it, bro.
No, yeah, it was hella awkward. And there's like a stripper scene where there's so many boobies, and we were watching it in my home, and I was like, damn, this is just not gonna work.
And you watched it when you were in 3rd grade?
Huh?
You watched it when you were in 3rd grade?
No, like 7th grade or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's back when he was
Wait.
mature enough to see boobies,
Wait, I
bro.
watched 2012 when I was a child, and I thought it was like the most like
You were immersed. You're terrified.
Wait, yeah,
of
what
I-
happens
I-
during
I-
movies,
Eve
bro?
of
Like,
December?
do you like feel
I
that?
cry.
shit?
I
Like,
cry a lot.
Damn.
well, I cry too, but like like I'm not like whoa, like I don't know, like like it's not like that deep. Like I'm immersed, but like
Yeah.
actually I'm more immersed in movies than games. I'll say that. though.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, okay, I think another. I actually like talking about movies and like feeling immersed. Like, I feel like part of it is like identifying with like characters. Or
Yeah, so that's why I don't get the Minecraft thing. Like, how can you be immersed?
How can you be immersed in
Like-
like something that's like 16 by 16 pixels?
And also like
No,
completely identity.
superpower, dude. That's a superpower.
Steve is not a nameless dude. Like, there's no lore. Like,
He's
I mean,
got a
like-
name, bro.
Okay,
Well, there
yeah,
is
yeah.
some semblance of lore after you beat the game. Like, there's the
Yeah.
credits. There's like
Right,
those
right,
two
right.
gods
Wake
talking
up.
to each other.
Yeah. There is
Yeah.
that, but I'm just saying, like, during the playing process, like, there's pretty much no
Yeah,
lore.
exactly.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
I
know
think
how to
for-
immerse in a no lore game.
That's actually actually a great point. I was actually thinking about this. Like, in movies too. Like, I can identify with characters that don't get any development. Like I
Wow.
like a lot of people like say, oh, this character was not developed. This character like wasn't like like mature enough, wasn't its own thing. Like, and that's why this is a bad movie because like we didn't get any time with these people.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's like it's instant. Like if they do
It's-
something, I'll be like, I'll feel it very like personally. Like, it'll
You're
be-
an empath.
Yo,
But
I'm an
that's like
empath
weird
too.
though. Like it's so hard for.
Dude, y'all are
I was thinking-
superheroes,
Damn,
bruh.
Yo, Mark be empathizing with cartoon beings
Yeah.
in Minecraft, but not real people. bro.
That's
Facts,
one thing.
facts,
That's one
bruh.
thing. Wait, I think that's
He's
true.
got the
which
he's
is-
got the real life disconnect.
Let's-
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
facts.
that. I was
Video
gonna
games
say-
are too good, bro. Like,
Do you
if
not-
you get your waifu in
What's-
Minecraft, bro, it's just
It's another
over.
thing. Like it's like.
Do
Y'all-
you
y'all
not
like, why is
empathize
that
with
the case?
people? Do you not empathize with people?
I think it's
Like, not as well, I feel like, as you
Not
do
as
with,
well.
like, movie characters.
not
yeah.
as well.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's-
I think.
Is it maybe because the movies are like idealized versions of people or something, and you
Well,
find it
not-
easier to understand?
I haven't moved. I haven't thought about that.
Sorry,
yet,
that's
but-
like kind of a roast, bro.
Yeah, that is a roast.
Oh, sorry. That was not meant to be. That was not meant to be like.
No,
Damn,
no,
do you
no.
think it's easier because like that shit is like made for like kids?
No, that's not what I mean, bro. I mean like
Wait.
in the art of film, like things are based off of archetype, and like the human mind is more suited to understand archetype than it is to it categorize.
Right, totally.
Wait,
Yeah,
like people are
Right.
more complex than movies. Yeah. like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Let me say this though. Like, let me. Yeah, like so.
Yeah, spit, bro.
And thank you. This is my thoughts and my history and my story. Like, I
Damn,
was thinking,
wow.
like, right, like, why is it that people are really sensitive to like poorly developed characters, and then like don't feel attached? Well, I just like attach immediately.
Mm.
And I was thinking, well, that's like just how it is in real life for me. Like, I don't get that much like people around me since when I was a kid, like, don't get that much development. You know, like, I don't know that much about my mom until like pretty recently. I still don't know anything about my dad, honestly. Like, I don't know what he likes, what he doesn't like, what kind of entertainment he enjoys, like what are the simple joys of his life. I don't know that at all.
That's
And that's
interesting.
really bad. Like, it's just like, but I still feel like attached to my parents, right? It's not that I don't know them that well. Doesn't mean that I don't feel attached to them at all. So I feel like this sort of like I can like work off of like very little.
Do you see
So I
that as
feel
like a sorry?
Sorry, I just feel like sometimes, Mark, like maybe you like
Over index. on them.
over unique your experience. Like I feel like so many people in the world are like, oh, I don't know that much about my parents, but I
Right,
still like love
right.
them and like mess with them. Like
Right.
it's like it's not that like I think there are other
It's pretty
indicators
common.
that would reveal
Right.
your like empath qualities more than that example. 'Cause,
Right.
like that example is like almost like 80% of people I know like don't know shit about their parents at that level, like what movies they watch and stuff like that. Like it's pretty common to like not know that kind of stuff and still like
Right.
love your parents and like mess with them heavy, you know, like
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Yo,
love them.
Mess with them heavy. I mess with them
Y'all
Okay,
heavy.
fucking with your
just
family, bro? I mess with them heavy, bro.
Right.
wait,
just like-
dude, my favorite shit is like the exclamation point.
Y'all
question
fucking
mark.
with y'all fucking.
That's just so good, bro. Y'all fucking with your parents.
Shit like that, dude. That's just so funny, dude.
Yeah, that's just so good. I love that.
Wait, but that's just like the most immediate conclusion I arrived at from my case. Like, I don't try to like say like anyone who don't have that much to work off of, like, you know, in their real life, attach immediately to movie characters, right? Like, I'm just saying like that might be a case for me, but I don't know like how true it is. That's just like the connection that I was able to make.
Got you.
Yeah, that's all. But I feel like yeah, I think like if that conclusion is that easy to arrive at, there's definitely like, I mean, you know, if it's like kind of obvious like that, then like probably like and realizing that hasn't helped me that much, then like, you know.
Do you see that as a negative thing, like a problem to be fixed, or do you just that just
I feel like
how
it
you
is.
how you
I
live?
feel like it is like most of the time when I'm like analyzing like myself, I guess, like, you know, quote unquote, like it's usually
Psychoanalysis,
something
bro.
negative about myself.
Damn, yeah, you got the CBD power within you.
Yeah, dude, my man. Our confession, bro. Let's go, dude. Wait, dude, I can't wait to have Cyrus on this podcast, dude.
Yo, what? I hella want to watch that, bro. Oh my
Wait, dude,
gosh.
you could tune in, bro. We'll be
Yeah,
live,
Sick,
bro.
that'd be so hype.
You can
yeah.
say shit in the chat, bro. You can
Oh my
bring-
gosh, yeah, damn. I
Wait.
hella miss Cyrus. Like, what a pure soul, bro. Like,
Mm.
Mm.
Yo,
Like-
bro, since you've been detached from Cyrus, bro, dude, Cyrus is freaking he crazy,
He's
bro.
a party animal, dude.
Yeah, dude.
wait,
Every
don't
single
laugh,
day he
man.
having tasers, bro. He's freaking shotgunning all day, every day, bro.
Bro, he got like 3 STDs, bro.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
STDs in the CB.
No. He's
Yeah,
like
he
the
got that-
opposite of that.
Y'all fucking with food?
Yo, I'm
Let's go. Wait, you know what?
I got
I
lamb going.
so hungry.
got the fucking chops, dude. You know, a strange thing that I find like with the identity thing, like a strange thing that I have a strange affinity for like identifying with is like I always identify with people in like desperate survival situations. I don't know why.
Oh,
Like I always I find it like I get super
Whoa.
immersed whenever it comes to like some type of like Attack on Titan. Like, dude, I'm so immersed in
Oh,
that
yo,
world.
are you up to date?
Dude, yes. I'm
Dude,
so
Wait,
that's
wait,
like
you watch
what-
that shit?
Nah. I don't.
Damn, bro. Okay, I actually feel like you fuck with it. Like you specifically.
I feel like Brandon would fuck with it, dude.
Wait, but
Dang.
it's
You
so
too, Mark.
crazy.
Mark, all of you should just watch it. I want to put everybody on
Dude,
Attack. That shit is
Season
so
4
good.
right now, Raymond. It's insane. Like I love it. Like not many shows I feel like make you choose a side where both sides are kind of like questionably morally. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Like both of them, I'm like, is like, yo, who the fuck am I supposed to support, bro?
Yeah, like it's not like
Yeah.
questionably morally
Ozark,
in terms
bro.
of like both bad. It's like they're
Yeah.
both ambiguous. Like
Yeah, it's both like, yo, what? Like,
Yeah.
like when fucking, dude. And the thing is, like, it's so confusing in the initial seasons when they're talking about it. Like, I remember when, well, are you guys fine? Like, if we like give very minor?
No.
No, you guys. Are you guys planning on watching it?
I'll
Yeah, because
probably,
like,
I'll probably
you're
watch
asking
it.
us, but like people who listen to this.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I don't want to
facts,
spoil this like on a
facts.
podcast. Yeah, yeah. But like the thing about Attack on Titan is like I get so immersed in like that. Like when it comes to like,
anime, full immersion for me.
yeah,
low-key.
yeah,
Like,
I know. I get so immersed in like, dude, when I was watching Naruto and I was like seeing like the battles and shit, and then like during the Naruto versus Pain fight, dude, I was like, yo,
you know
holy
what
shit,
full immersion is? Raymond, when we played
Whoa,
that,
dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. When you started dunking, okay, playing a Lytra map on Minecraft. And then basically you like fly through an obstacle course, and then
yeah.
literally like while we were playing, we were like going like this in order to like dodge.
Wait, I do that in CS though.
Dude,
Okay, I
was
do
the
that.
high-
I do that in CS.
that was the
I duck
highest
in
I
real life.
was without being high. Like I was so like I'm like losing my body and mind, but like I'm not taking any substances.
Dude, that was like an out of body experience,
Actually,
bro.
like, I
happened.
literally became the Minecraft character.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
understand.
then you were shitting on me.
I completely identified with the like. I was like, when I was weaving through, I was like,
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
that shit was so funny, dude.
Immersion is possible, bro. But that was like a physical immersion. I guess like hunger is a physical.
I don't know.
Like Mark would just eat, but if he's on 100 Minecraft, he's like, oh shit, bro, I gotta get a snack.
Wait. This is a perfect segue. Talking about immersion.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have to mention it because we've been kind of okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
New
it's
structure,
fine.
new
It's fine.
structure, right?
Immersion. So, what is art? What is design? How fundamental is that to human experience? I thought immersion was a good segue.
Is that, bruh? Are you really trying to stop us when we're talking about something we're passionate about,
Wait,
bruh?
dude, wait. Honestly though, like on the topic of like what you identify with, or what character you like the most, or
Yeah.
immerse within the most. A big part of it is like how much of your projected personality
Yeah.
is within
Yeah.
that. Like that's like reading like a lot of like authors, like their whole like I read this book on like how to read. It's like super dense and not that interesting, but like
How to read?
yeah,
Damn. Well, how are you gonna read it if you don't know
I
how
know,
to
It
read?
got better and better throughout. Like,
As your reading gets more and more complex as he knows you're reading better.
Yeah. But like the whole thing, like talking about like fiction is like all of it is just about like who you see yourself in.
That's great.
And it's like it's interesting because like sometimes like talking about immersion is kind of like interesting because like you kind of get to see like what people see themselves as. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
That's totally. Oh my god, that's a really good.
Yeah.
Like that's
what does it say
totally
about
how
me?
I
I see
feel.
myself as Steve.
Dude, 'cause
Damn,
he's
you're
fucking
the-
wide, dude.
wait, you're the
Mark's
first
youngest,
man.
dude.
Mark's the first man, bro.
First man.
Princeps, dude. Princeps, first man. I was totally thinking when you were saying that, like, as a DM, whenever I run D&D for like other people, like you can tell an experienced player from a new player. The new
Mhm.
player always makes a character that they
That's
see
themselves,
themselves in.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they make like some reflection of themselves, and it's only once you start playing like enough characters of like idealized versions of yourselves or like things that like reflect like traits that you wish were more at the forefront of your personality that you just
Yeah.
start getting like bored of it. Like you start playing
Oh,
enough
that's
that
amazing.
like you're bored of like playing an idealized version. So I'll just play like something completely like foreign to me. So that's like more entertaining.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like it's super interesting because like definitely when Brandon was like, dude, I hella fuck with like Assassin's Creed, like dude, I was thinking like, dude, I hella saw that, like I hella like realized that when I was with him and I was like brainstorming his D&D character, and like his shit is like an assassin and like he's like a rogue and shit like that, and like. And like I was like, dude, I kind of want to like draw his character, right? I was like, what would Brandon like? So I legit just like drew a hood that looked like hella like the Assassin's Creed thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was like, and then I sent it to Brandon, and he's like, damn, I kind of like the hood, bro. And I was like, yo, dude, this shit like I.
It was sick. It was sick.
Exactly. Like I enjoy understanding what other people like. Like that's very fulfilling to me. That's why.
That's interesting though. Like. You would say like the beginners find some like play a character that's like an idealized version, or like they aspire to be that character, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
More experienced people like play something that's more like when you are. Can you argue that these are the same? Like you can like understand that person like equally because like one is like positive definition and another one is like definition by like negating what they are, you know, like if I play some really evil character, right, but that just and I'm like getting a kick out of it, and it could just be like I never get to do this in real life.
That's PJ. That's PJ and Sam, dude.
He does that in
PJ and
CS
Sam,
too.
like, I
Holy
never
shit.
get to break the law in real life, dude. You put Sam in or PJ in anything, like you just put them in any society where they have to follow the rules. They'll be like, yo, I can do whatever I want. This shit GTA, bro. And they just mug the fucking tavern, dude.
We always get arrested.
Just pretty funny, bro. Honestly, like I enjoy it, but it's also like the hallmark of like a new player who like I it's cool that they're finding a freedom in like being able to be enabled to do something that they never could do in real life. I mean, you can do it without content.
That's why I feel like role playing is like actually I'm like almost certain there's studies on how role playing affects like your like social.
There are. Yeah, exactly. I actually
shit.
have like there's like when you make memories like within D&D, like the memory like is stored within the part of the mind that's like an act. Wait, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
No. I'm gonna say something after you finish.
Okay. But like it's stored within the part of your mind that stores like you actually living an experience. Yeah. So like when you like. Sorry, let me just finish.
Yeah. Sorry. I keep like I'm getting excited. You know.
Yeah. So like, when you like have like an experience of like you and like if like Brandon and PJ have like this like memory of like their characters, like PJ like holds like a rope bridge and then like Brandon runs across as it's like about to collapse. That memory is stored within like they don't think like remember when we were playing a game where our characters did this. They remember when we did this. Remember like PJ can visualize when he was grabbing the rope bridge and then Brandon was like running across, and that's why it's like so awesome to look back on like adventures.
Because like there's this like thing with like memories. It's like a lot of like the different pieces of memory is like stored and like it's like kind of scattered, and you can draw upon different pieces of memory to like recreate a picture of the memory. So like one thing is like emotions is like a piece, and like visual is a piece, and like what you said and like, you know, all of those things. So like like role playing is like huge. I'm sure like it makes like a big like it can be really I'm sure it's like used in some kind of therapy. Like
there has to be
literally role playing is literally
it's a big thing in therapy.
Role play.
Yo, dude, fucking therapy is just LARPing, bro.
No, it actually is.
Yeah, that's
like,
funny.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's dude, John, it's not your fault.
Have you heard of EMDR or no?
Erectile mega dick relegation. Alright, but elaborate on what EMDR is.
It's like it touches on like the visual part of the memory that John talked about. So basically they ask you to recall like a really traumatic experience, and then they'll move their fingers like this and ask you to follow it, while you
following right now.
recall
Keep
the
Keep going. I'm
experience.
following.
And then apparently the next time you recall the memory, you're like less emotionally prone to
Oh
it.
shit, that's so sick.
Oh.
Because you're associating it more with
Yeah.
like this kind of thing rather than the actual events.
Whoa,
and
that's
stuff
Like,
amazing.
how much of that stuff is like actual science? You know, like I really don't know how much of like
No, it's
therapy
like-
and like
Oh,
psychology.
that's totally science.
It's hella science, bruh. Because
I'm like,
no, 'cause, like they use like a lot of like it's like brain related, like basically
Yeah.
like what activity in your
Yeah.
brain is being triggered when certain events occur,
Yeah.
and like that's kind of like a lot of the basis for CBT. Yeah. I just like laughed because like
CBD.
I was like no
Cock
because
and ball
cock and ball
torture.
torture, but like I was like trying to make sure I was saying the right one. It is, but like that's like the basis of like a lot of CBT, like
CBT.
yeah, like cognitive
CBT.
behavioral therapy, like
Cock and ball torture. Let's go.
Yeah.
it's, like,
Same
based
thing.
on,
That is therapy.
Yeah, kind of,
That's
kind of.
therapeutic, bro.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
oh yeah, my therapist is an expert in CBT. Yeah, like it's crazy.
Let's go.
Wait, can we talk about like the therapeutic effect of BDSM? Like,
Are you guys?
No,
I don't know. Like, do you guys,
Maybe
you guys
for
like-
you.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really.
wait, what?
Okay,
I have
okay.
no experience. We're just like
You guys-
theorizing
you guys,
out of
you
like
guys,
no experience.
Wait, I think
Strong
okay.
bottom or strong top? Or do you guys not have a preference?
Dude.
Yeah, I've
You
never.
you guys
I
have a
wouldn't
specific
know, bro.
Well,
Yeah,
just from
it's
your
hard to
intuition.
know. I feel like it's hard to know, honestly. Like
Wait, but isn't there that in like in like a hetero relationship too, or no?
no, and well,
Kinda,
yeah, but like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of different, you know. Like it's
Oh,
kind
hey,
of
Kevin.
Oh, tea
Kevin,
stain.
oh,
Yummy drink.
Wait,
Yummy
what? You got
drink.
half a tea stain, bro. Damn.
Let's go.
Give me some.
Damn,
Kevin,
my
should we
boy
make-
drinking good tonight.
Oh, here.
Damn, I'm role
Here's
playing.
our-
Yeah, role play.
Role
bro.
play.
Hey, it looks like it on the screen.
Wait, yeah, facts.
Damn, that was sick, bro. That's
Let's go.
delicious, bro.
Wait, that's like the haircut meme where it's like giving them a haircut, like the monkey.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
It's so funny.
Yo, guys,
And
this
this
is,
is fire. Holy,
is,
this fire.
guys, it's getting kind of late.
What drink is that? What drink is that?
I'll be
Oh, it's
straight
8.
up.
Wow.
All right.
Roast?
Okay. I do want to touch on the art thing though.
Yeah, let's do
I
like
think that's
a
interesting.
Yeah, let's do some like rapid fire one.
Yeah.
let's rapid
Okay, what's art?
up, wrap it up.
Everything is art, bro.
Facts.
Oh shit. Actually.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
art is just what people define as
Yeah.
art.
honestly.
You know, right?
Yeah, because like this artist I like a lot. Like, his whole thing is about like, kind of how like art is like a two party system. Like it involves two parties.
Yeah.
Like the creator, the artist, or whatever, and then the viewer.
And, yeah.
And like, well, my take on it is like, I think I have an even more literal take on it. Like, I showed him something and he was like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's like up to you to decide like if it's like art or not. But like for me, it's like, I think if any situation like where a viewer can consider something art, it like kind of makes it art.
It is art.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like something that I don't know. That's a dynamic that's explored a lot from like just like contemporary art, like you know,
Yeah.
like
Totally.
quote unquote like modern art.
Yeah.
And I think like that dynamic is kind of lost on because like the viewer is expecting the producer of the art of the quote unquote art to do all, if not most, if not all of like the interpretation, you know. But the fact is, when you look at a painting, you see details that the person who made it, like they never saw it before. Like every single time you observe something, you're looking at a version of something that nobody else has ever perceived, and that's like the basic assumption that you need to.
Dude, wait, but the main thing that I think like I struggle with is like if you make something. I mean, like obviously, like you can be the viewer and the artist, like both, but. For the most part, I'm thinking like if you make something and nobody sees it or like experiences it or knows about it, like can it even like
I
be
think
art?
that's
Like
that's still art.
Yeah.
That's still art. That's still art. It doesn't need a
It just-
viewer. I feel.
Yeah, it's just art in the absence of a viewer.
I
You
mean,
know?
the
And if
viewer
anything-
is the artist, I guess.
I
The
was
viewer
actually like
takes
Jon
part
and
in
I
the
already like sort of like discussed this like a while back, like or like that, like whether making for an audience or not, right? Like that's
Yeah.
like kind of interesting because I feel like nowadays a lot of produced things have like, especially like like entertainment and movies, whatever, they have like an ideal audience, or they assume a certain audience, and then like that and the work take a certain form, right? Like in movies, say they always have this like really beautiful female lead, right? Because they're assuming that the audience is a straight dude, something like that, right? That's kind of interesting, like
Or a lesbian woman, I guess.
yeah, that too, yeah. So it's like really like do you like what happens when you like don't assume a spectator or a viewer, and I'm really interested in that because like personally I feel like art, like any like expression, is art, and it doesn't need to be like heard, it just needs to be said.
I think without a viewer to interpret, at least like I think half of the art. I'm not gonna say like I'm not saying ratio, but I'm saying like half of the artistic expression is coming through the viewer interpreting what you made.
Right, totally.
Without a viewer, like it still is art, but something is lost without the interpretation.
Yeah, but like you're also the viewer.
Wait.
Like the artist is the viewer too.
Hey, could I ask something?
Sure.
No.
Oh,
you.
damn.
Yeah,
All right,
you're in.
podcast over. Okay.
Wait. Dude, Brandon has the most high quality everything out of all of them.
Facts. Best camera quality and the best
like,
mic
so
quality.
prepared
Like
for this.
videos, like we all look like we're living in some like hotel somewhere.
Yeah.
I have
Brandon got the
a
setup.
squat.
Yeah.
I just like decorating my room.
I'm a squat as well.
Dude, I can't sit.
Okay, so I'm curious
Yo, ass
then,
too.
like, why do we have art, or what part of our soul like wants to create stuff, and why do we like find it beautiful?
I think they're like if you were to answer like literally, like the humans find art beautiful because of their natural adaptation to recognize symmetry, right, and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like natural pattern recognition. If we're like thinking about like on a biological aspect, like humans seek to make patterns, see structure. That's why they like.
So
That's
does
why
like
they recognize
the
like.
ultimate does the ultimate art piece exist then? Like if you look at it, you like
But you're talking
get
about
ultimate
visual art,
euphoria or something. Yeah, that's
Dude,
just like
nah, bruh. It's a picture of me.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
picture.
like
of...
evolutionary. like,
It's a picture of Joe, bruh.
Yeah.
Joe.
Wait, who's Joe?
Joe.
God.
Yeah, damn, bro, he got
Damn,
you,
that was
dude.
smooth as
Damn.
shit.
Caught on
4K,
camera, bro.
Caught in 4K,
Yeah.
dude.
Wait, damn, I had a thought and I lost it.
Yes,
That's the
dude,
question.
the ultimate art piece does exist, bruh.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's
I like
John's
Joe.
nudes, bruh.
Yeah,
Wait,
facts.
That's
Like I heard somewhere, I thought it was kind of interesting. Like art is like what helps people like make sense of like something else, like whether it be like reality or some sort of like narrative. I thought that like, but I guess like in that like because earlier like we started talking about whether there's an audience or not. Like, but like in this sense, it's kind of like the person I heard it from like also talked about it's kind of like making sense of like a shared like kind of like through like a shared means.
I
Do-
see.
Do you think art needs like an intended purpose? That's just
Nah,
a random thought I
no.
had.
Dude, I feel like,
Yeah.
well, like, if we're given a base definition of art as, like, anything can be art, like,
Yeah.
Right.
All right, okay. Then more
that's, like, kind of hard to
specifically-
discuss, like.
More specifically,
It's
do
hard,
you
yeah.
think there's like a connection between our desire for art and like something cosmic or something?
Yeah, I think so. Or
Totally.
something with, like, okay, I believe so to a certain level. I guess,
Just
like,
thought.
cosmic is, like, innate. Like, I don't necessarily see it as, like, religious, maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But,
you can think of cosmic in like the pragmatic sense. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what do you in what way do you think the desire for art is like
Well,
innate to the human
actually-
experience?
Okay, I think the desire for creation is very cosmic and innate.
Mm.
Because I think what art is, like, it's hard to define, right? Because, like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna define it and say it's like, oh, this certain type of art or like this certain thing that's considered art, that's like
Yeah.
really related to like how people have commodified art, you know. But like,
Yeah.
if we're saying anything really, like the process of living can be kind of art, right? Like, because we
Exactly.
can define art to be almost whatever. Like, then I do think it's like cosmic, because like I think creation is cosmic and innate and necessary for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
and that's part of like ties into like why I think like capitalism isn't necessary for like creation and creativity, you know. Like,
Damn, we tied it all the way back.
Damn.
Very nice.
My man put his 3-point thesis. That's a 5 on his AP
Yeah.
playing, bruh.
that's hella high.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you write about death grips?
You,
Yeah, dude.
Mark, any thoughts
I got a
on
4,
the
yeah.
cosmic nature
Let's go.
of art?
Oh wait, that was the AP Lang essay, right? Like, art
Yeah,
related.
you wrote about death grips. I remember you told me.
Yeah.
I remember that. I
That's
remember
sick.
that.
It goes, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of am like a fan of like the idea of like making sense of like reality and surrounding. Yeah,
I
and I
see.
think I don't think that's like the purpose of it, but I just think like basically everything we do is like some form of that, right? And I think
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
in terms of like cosmic, I think that's totally true. Like, there's like some attempt to sort of like move beyond reality to make
This
sense
material
of reality. Like, because
vessel.
whenever you tap into like kind of meta things, I think that's when you tap into like the cosmic, right? Because like you recognize that your like 3 dimensions are limited, and there's like a higher
Yeah.
dimension.
Yo, guys, not gonna lie, bro. I wish I smoked more in high school, bro. That shit is like,
Really?
yeah.
That's
Wait, like
crazy,
I
bro.
feel like that shit
Bro,
is like
John,
so...
next time we can hang, I'll smoke you out, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
wait,
go.
facts. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
TFTI,
I'm gonna be like fully
Dude, of course, dude, you're in the
vaccinated, so, like,
conversation, bro.
like, yo, once we're all
It's
like,
probably gonna
done
happen at
stuff-
your house, bro.
Yeah, facts. But yeah,
Sure as hell ain't gonna happen at
your
mine,
mama's
bro.
hella chill, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, like I feel
Shout
like that's
out
the
Linda.
most. Yeah, oh shit, I've never even known her name.
That's not her name. That's
It's
not
just
her
a meme
name.
because she's the manager or owner of a
Yeah,
of a
right.
of a shop called
Sandwich
Linda
shop.
Sandwiches, so we just
Yeah.
call it Linda.
Damn. Wait, I gotta pull up honestly. To Linda's.
No
You
way,
gotta-
it's so fire. I'll take you guys.
gotta-
I
one
gotta
day.
wait.
It's so
I gotta
fire.
like like show love. You know what I mean?
You
No,
gotta
that's
you
facts,
gotta
that's
you gotta
facts.
support the crew, bro. You gotta fight back against gentrification.
Yeah.
bro.
Oh no, I gotta freaking.
Wait, it's more
tip
fire
my
than
mama,
Louise,
you know?
honestly.
Tip my baby mama, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, the only
Shit, shut up.
I'm gonna be honest, the only banh mi's I've had outside of Lee's have
You've
been
never had
pretty-
Linda's?
I've never had Linda's.
What?
I've always
I-
thought Brandon's mom is Linda.
No.
Wait, Brandon, we gotta pull up. Like, wait, is it open like now and stuff? Like, not now, but
Wait,
like,
let's go right now.
right
down.
now.
I'm
Mark,
actually hella down.
Mark,
Damn.
we're gonna get Mark from SF. We're just gonna fucking
Wait,
we're gonna
Brandon,
beeline.
now?
Huh?
I can't, but I don't have insurance.
I don't know if it's
that's a
open
bummer.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. If it was, I would actually go. Like, I'm hungry right now. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Wait, dude, you legit just ate a lamb chop, bro. It's because of
Yeah,
your
for
hunger.
real.
It's because of your hunger in Minecraft.
Dude, yeah,
bro.
Like, when after you eat and then, like, you hop in Minecraft and your hunger's low, it just resets the whole...
Exactly. It resets your bodily clock, dude.
Yeah.
Wait,
um,
Brandon, let's move on to
what were we saying?
we're talking about
Oh,
how
smoking.
art
Art,
and creation taps into some cosmic intrinsic
No,
desire.
Yeah, I feel like smoking, like, okay, I know there's people who smoke and like just like don't think about stuff that much. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, right? But like, damn, that shit is like, okay, it's kind of cringe. Like, it's like a cliche.
Yeah,
to, like,
obviously,
yeah.
obviously,
Yeah,
if you like remove it from any type of experience, it sounds kind of cringe, you know.
yeah, it's kind of cliche. No, like I'm saying, like the cliche of like someone starts smoking and they're like, damn, this shit is like mind blowing.
The shit loud, bro.
Mind
So,
blowing.
I'm
then,
in
like-
a different
Yeah,
realm,
and
bro.
then like the stuff they're saying is like literally just like I don't know, like
gibberish.
Yeah, like-
they're not saying
Yeah,
shit, bro.
yeah, like, and they think they're hella
Like
professional.
you gotta remove yourself to see your other self,
Right,
and only when
right.
you're without yourself can it become itself.
Wait, but I think that's
You know
like
what I'm
also, like,
saying?
the benefit of like role playing. Like you can remove yourself from yourself. Like
You gotta lose
Yeah.
yourself in the music.
yeah,
the
yeah,
moment.
exactly. Like weed like allows you to do that. Like some people can do that, you know, like maybe like Mark, right? Like can like transport themselves into like other like things pretty easily. But I think like certain substances like help you do it like a lot.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
you're
actually-
always limited by the fact that you are like a collection of chemical impulses in like a
Yeah.
you know like
Yeah.
like there's
Totally.
so much, everybody operates under the same hardware that is like the brain, right? So
Dude,
like
but like who knows?
mostly
Like,
everybody.
I feel like the brain, like we're all in this like other plane, like simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't know,
Your
like
mind,
I don't
body.
know what. Wait, what did you say?
Oh, like
The mind body.
the mind dash.
Oh, I
body.
thought you said the Minecraft realm, or like.
I
Yeah,
do.
so
Yeah, we
funny
need
that
a
you said that.
we need an episode 2 where we just play Minecraft and talk about how fucking immersed we are, bro.
It's actually crazy. Like we should get high and play Minecraft like that.
Yeah,
shit
let's
is
go,
Down, I'm
let's
so
go.
down, bro.
Let's go.
But
I was
like,
thinking
so
like
down.
We'll play an
I
adventure
get
map.
high
We'll
for
play
this
an adventure
episode.
map, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, let's
Actually,
go. Let's
but
go.
I was thinking like I don't know what I believe in terms of like energies and auras or whatever, but like that stuff feels intuitive. Like
Totally.
whenever I'm high, like it's like
No,
Yeah.
no, I feel you.
right,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I just feel like damn, like people have energies that are so like.
Wait, I
yeah.
feel like I hella relate
know what
to
I think-
astrology when I'm like high
Yeah,
for some
yeah,
reason.
true. Like there's some like deeper connection with the universe. Like I know it's
Yeah.
like so cringe, but like
Yeah,
I literally, like,
Bro, it's fine. It's a judge-free zone. Nobody's
Yeah,
even
yeah,
listening to this
yeah.
shit, bro.
facts.
Yeah. Wait. Let me. I think I can bring kind of insight into my perspective as it on it.
Yeah.
I think our intuitive understanding of like, yo, there's something like more than us, you know? It's like, I think the reason why we think that is like, back to what I was saying, like everybody's operating under the same hardware, right? So like, all of human thought is operating under like the same framework where we have like, I forgot, like we can like store like 1 gigabyte of data, like there's you could do how many functions, like whatever, right? And like if you think about the brain as like a mechanical thing, right? Everybody's operating under that. Think of how little we can experience just because, like, how little perspective we have as just like a species,
Yeah.
because of the fact that all of us are just operating under like some hardware, and this hardware can only do like limited things, right? So like we can only process and think about things a certain way. There's only so far that we can like expand through our brain that has been conditioned to just survive from day to day, right? And when you try to you can't even perceive what the universe is like without with the absence of the human mind,
Totally.
Right?
Exactly.
right? Like,
Dude.
what does an object
Yeah.
look like without perspective?
We do not know.
What does an object look like without light? Like how do you remove how does like the wavelength of light like is like its color an actual thing? Like what
Yeah,
like
exactly.
what's happening?
Dude,
Like
that's like the beauty of being human, though. Like it's so
Yeah.
crazy. Like I feel like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you have this like simultaneously, like we are limited and aware of our limitedness.
Yeah.
Like that shit is
exactly.
like so broken. Like I feel like some animals like they don't know that they're small, like almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not like existentially aware of their smallness, you know, but like us, like we're like, damn, like none of this makes sense. Like so many things don't make sense, and like we're
Yeah.
so aware of that. It's
Wait,
like-
and
this
there's
is
so many
like super interesting. Like,
and also, oh, sorry, Mark, I
No, go
totally
ahead,
like
go ahead.
you were too quiet, so I couldn't hear you. Sorry, my bad.
It's
Go
alright.
ahead.
holy,
Go ahead, go
don't
ahead.
speak on the man
Finish your
Mark
thought.
for you, bruh.
Sorry, no, it's just like I have him lowered on some reason.
oh, because you're probably supposed to.
No, I don't. think I
John,
was
drink
lowered.
from the thing.
Oh, sorry.
It's time to drink.
Let's go.
Nice.
Sorry, Mark. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like just like a comment on what we're talking about. Like I'm so like interested recently in this kind of journey to like venture out to obtain some sort of objectivity, but then like circling back to like ourselves, right? Like I
You're
feel
always like no matter what you do, you're always in the meat bag. You know?
exactly like the science is exactly like this. Like oh shit, you know, like, oh, let's like make all these instruments and then let's like measure time. Oh, time is actually not a real concept. Like this is actually not a real concept. It's all some like very subjective feeling. Then you come back to like understand yourself more, right? And I think like statistics too, like data science is also like a thing. Like you come out like operating under like this like assumption or like this worldview that everything has a state and it's all like quantifiable and you can capture that. You can build models out of that. You can like like analyze it. But then you also realize that whenever you make a model, it's like on just like a very tiny subset of reality.
Yeah.
And then because you can make that model, because you know that subset is like so limited, you have room for argumentation. You have room for like persuasion, which is such a fundamentally human thing. Like you come all the way back to yourself again. And I'm like so fascinated by that like path. Just like full circle, you know, and it's super interesting.
And that goes for like any field of study, or
like so far I feel the most in terms of like science and physics, right, and data science, because I feel like
Wait, what the?
Dude,
They went down
what
the
he
wrong
didn't
pipe,
know,
dude.
what he didn't know is that when I put my mouth on that straw, but I put some poison in it.
Oh,
Holy shit, bro. Yo, dude, as long as it has your spit contained within it, it's worth it.
yeah.
Alright, yo, but Mark, what you were saying? I hella fuck with what you were saying.
I feel like it's especially the case for like any study that originally, say like 100 years ago or 200 years ago, people operated under this worldview that the world is a machine, right? And then there's some sort of objective reality that's attainable.
Yeah, like stuff that's what happened through like the Enlightenment.
Right.
You know, like
So I
you
feel
science.
want to focus on like the
physics
objective.
is that, data science is that.
What is real and what isn't
Yeah.
real.
But then you realize
Yeah,
that
because
No,
you can't prove anything is real.
Postmodernism is
You can't prove
I'm hella
anything is.
postmodern.
Yeah, I know you're postmodern.
I was definitely. I have something to say after.
Yeah,
Mark.
go off.
Because what you were saying, Mark, like I think the thing to consider when you're talking about subjects that are, you know, like they're heavily focused on the objective but when you focus in on it, you realize that objectivity is like the concept of objectivity is like is human made, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Because we operate under like no matter what, like if we just want to live our day-to-day lives, we operate under the assumption that there is a form of objectivity and things that are objective are more valuable than things that aren't, right? So this is like back in like when you're talking about like the three basal assumptions that lie from like science. I think it's like the first one is the universe exists. We can predict things about it, and models with predictive capability are more valuable than models without predictive capability, right? And these are just there's no way to prove this, right? These are complete assumptions, but to operate under like to operate within just the framework of the reality, or at least the perceived reality that we live in, we have to concede these things, and there's no way we can ever remove ourselves from like those type of things, because how are we supposed to make any thought? How are we supposed to live any form of our lives without at least conceding that without assuming that there's some form of objectivity, and then conceding that fact that might be wrong, right? Because how can you prove that the universe exists? You have to use something independent of the universe in order to prove. Use something outside of the universe in order to prove, because you can't use something within the universe to prove the universe exists, right? But we can only perceive what's in the universe, right? So it's like we have already conceded the fact that there's no way we can ever even like prove that any of this is true, right? So just like our first topic about like it's hard to realize sometimes you're operating under like some like Western frame of mind. Sometimes you think about like the objectivity and like progress per se, you know, you're talking about like, oh, we're learning more about the objective. Somehow like we think that this is like good and like right and true. But the fact is, if we like remove ourselves from the concept of the objective, which we cling to because, you know, like we have to in order to function from day-to-day life, we realize that like we can't know anything. There's no such thing as knowledge. It's just that's a complete, like, everything is a human fabrication, because everything that has been perceived has only been perceived through the human brain.
Bro,
Exactly.
You know?
that's why I'm rocking with God, bruh.
That's why I'm just vibing, bro. Trying
Dude,
to.
like there's
Trying
like it's like too hard to perceive something that's like beyond. Like I just like default to something that's like beyond natural. It's just like
Yeah.
easier. Like it's not just easier. It's just like sometimes like that's the only conclusion that like I can like reach. Like,
I think,
Dang, shout out to God.
shout out
Yeah,
to
goals
God,
and
bro.
intentions.
hey, yo, shout out to my boy Yahweh.
God,
Yeah.
well, not even Yahweh, like more like just like
Yeah.
a God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least like
I don't.
Shout out to Cooper in the Tesseract. You know. What I'm saying?
I think if you're too ingrained into like the pseudo intellectual, like armchair, like atheist mindset of like objectivity and science and
Yeah.
progress, you know, like
Yeah.
you become too removed from the larger truth that these things are also human made, you know, like
exactly.
the concept of objectivity, the concept of progress, the concept of you know, like learning more about making predictive capabilities, predictive models with predictive capability about the universe. These are completely arbitrary standards that we set. There's
Yeah.
no,
Dude,
Exactly.
that's why like I feel like a lot of like scientists like who are like hardcore like scientists like they all like believe in a God. Like my friend's like an astrophysics major and she says like a lot of like the people like in that field like believe in God. Like
Totally.
Wow.
that is
like-
something I'm like completely not
Interesting.
surprised by.
yeah,
Or
like
at least like at least believing in some form of like
Higher,
ether or like
beyond
supernatural. That's like higher than,
Yeah.
because like you realize how limited the human perception is.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
like it's almost an impossibility that something is not operating without operating independent of the human mind.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Wait, John, are you a pluralist?
Am I a
Pluralist?
what's that?
Define that for him, bruh.
Pluralism is like, okay,
Sounds
you know
awesome.
the elephant analogy where every religion is reaching out to this. Every religion is like a
Yeah,
blind
yeah.
person reaching out to the
touching
elephant, and
Yeah,
touching
yeah.
like a different part of it.
Mhm.
Is that what you like subscribe to?
Not like full. Like I don't know what I believe. You know, like I kind of am like between beliefs.
Where's your
Wow.
where's your faith? Where's like your faith or like your beliefs
Well, I believe.
nowadays?
Well, I like definitely believe in like a God. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know like anything beyond that. Like I don't know like what I
Like
believe,
right now, the
but-
only concrete thing you can say is
yeah,
I
like
believe in a God.
like here's like, oh, Jonathan, like list your beliefs. Like the
Yeah.
only thing I'm gonna say like I believe for sure is like a God. Like
Right.
it's kind of hard.
And is that
to,
God like a human like intelligence? What's your definition of there is a
no,
God?
like I don't know. It's just like a higher thing beyond everything.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
is it does that mean there's an intelligence, or does it mean like there's just some force? Like is
I
God
don't,
like a conscious
really?
being?
I don't even know if that's like an important distinction for myself. You know,
Ah,
like,
I see.
I
That's
just
valid,
like
yeah.
there's something that's like beyond the universe. That's not.
Okay, well I believe that as well.
I could rock
Yeah.
with that.
Okay,
Mark,
I've been
what
think-
about you?
I think. I'm not sure if I fit into that. Like, what was the word? Pluralist.
Yeah,
Pluralist. Right?
pluralist.
Oh, pluralist. I thought you
yeah.
were saying something.
No.
Yeah, I was like, what is a pluralist? Yeah.
Pluralist,
Sorry.
huh?
Yeah, like it's been interesting. I've been thinking about like this. Like I don't know. Like I should read up on it because I feel like it's not the most helpful. I'm just like sitting here, but like
No, your contribution is greatly appreciated, Mark.
thank
Yeah,
you.
facts.
Like I believe in a God, right?
Mhm.
And
Let's go.
my thought.
Let's fucking go.
So this is my thought, right? And I believe in a God, but also like I believe in the idea that there is nothing beyond this God that I believe in, right? And then like immediately I'm thinking about what about this nothingness? Do I believe in that nothingness more? Like that's that's like my weird path to nihilism, you know? Like there's nothing beyond God. Do I believe in that nothingness more? That's like the more overwhelming.
It's like we're operating on like a third
Nothingness.
dimension. Outside of the third dimension, there's something operating within that. But beyond that, there is nothing.
Yeah,
There's
if there's nothing beyond God, I fucking believe. right? Like if that,
Oh.
like I'm starting to like
I
think
pledge
like
my
where does
allegiance
that
to nothing.
nothingness play into
But
my belief in
what
God?
even is nothingness though?
I don't know. That's like a
That's
weird
like
thing.
when you reach the end of
That's a
Minecraft.
human-made.
Yeah, that's like when
Wait,
you
yeah,
start, like,
dude,
having the
nothingness
conversation.
is
The thing is, everything is a human-made concept. How are we
How
something
can
not human without
Damn,
using
wait,
human concepts?
right,
It's
that's
I
true.
just
impossible.
experienced nothingness when Raymond's mic clipped out. There was a
Like,
deep
radio
pause.
silence from Raymond.
Yeah, that
Bruh.
was like he spoke into the void just now.
Did I clip out?
A little bit, yeah.
But did you get like the general gist of what I was saying?
Yeah.
All right.
No, but I just think it's like not fun to think about stuff like that. in that way.
What?
Like no, like to like some like this endless like yeah, I acknowledge it, but I'm just gonna entertain the
Right.
not that ideas
Interesting.
because it's like easier to vibe. So, like,
It's here to
that kind
vibe.
of
No, do you
stuff.
think that conjecture about just like the metaphysical nature of the universe is entertaining in some form?
No, I do. No. I'm saying
100%.
all of our conversation has been interesting, but
Yeah.
the specific thought process of like everything is created, like yeah, like everything is human made. Like I can acknowledge that. Like I don't like.
Yeah, but it's like
talking about that.
how can you function with if you
Exactly.
want to
Like
try
I'm
to,
just like
if you
yes.
preface everything by saying like
Exactly.
and I know
exactly.
that this is through the human lens of bias through the brain.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
every, like
saying, like,
you have to preface everything if
it's
you want to like
it's
talk about
harder
it.
to
Otherwise
vibe if you have to like revisit that topic.
Right. You don't
Exactly.
Get anywhere
You know, like
Yeah.
like we all know like everything
Exactly,
is
right?
human
Like
made.
we have to talk assuming that objectivity is a thing, you know?
or not
If you-
like, not even just like I
Or
like
it
we can
isn't.
acknowledge that
Yeah.
objectivity isn't, but we don't like in terms of like like I like the general topics, but like sometimes you know like the end of those conversations
Yeah.
always like just
It's just
becomes,
like,
nothing is real.
It's like turtles all the way down or whatever
See,
it's
like,
called.
Yeah.
nothing is real. Then
Yeah, like, I
nothing
just, like-
is real.
yeah, but
Wow.
that's like semantics.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nothing
exactly.
is
Like
real.
I know
like,
it's like
oh,
semantics.
nothing is
like,
true.
Totally
yeah.
semantics. Yeah, like
yeah, like
I
getting
agree.
into that
Yeah.
shit, like yes, that gets at the point. Like yeah,
Yeah.
we're like overemphasizing this.
Yeah, it just
everything.
becomes like, oh yeah, like I know we're making conjecture and we all could just be humans looking at shadows on the cave wall, but it's entertaining to talk about.
We're all in the
Yeah, like
cave.
that's just like
you know?
vibing is like if we can like the even more like sometimes I'm like okay if nothing is real like you should just operate in
As
like
if
yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
or
Dude,
just
I
like
wish-
whatever
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
nothing it doesn't matter like how you go.
That's true.
If I think me and Brandon have talked about this. It's like since he's like purely materialist, he doesn't believe in free will, right? Because like
Yeah.
since everything is just causal, it's like cause and effects.
Yeah,
Everything
Right, there
is
no-
just chemical reactions, right?
right.
So like if you hit a billiards ball in like a certain place at a certain speed, it's always going to do something.
Mhm.
The same thing with the mind, right? But it's
Right.
like the even if it isn't real, the illusion of free will is so like visceral and real to you that it's
Right.
like there's no point in acting as if like
dude.
it has no effect on your life. Right?
Exactly. It's
Right,
like
exactly.
what's art almost like it's
Exactly.
just whatever. Like what's real is just whatever. Like you. Want
Yeah,
it to
exactly.
be
So
real.
it's like even if these are shadows on the walls, like whatever, let's discuss shadows on the
Like,
wall.
yeah,
act
like,
like that.
I-
That's like
right,
our
like,
reality.
Dude,
whatever
the-
just like feels better. Like honestly, like
Dude,
I
you know what?
don't-
You know what, guys? Guys, after this, I'm
Feels
just gonna get up and I'm gonna walk out of the cave, bro. Y'all are gonna keep seeing
Wait, that's
Yeah.
see, that's against what we're talking about. What we're talking about is we wish the people in the cave are vibing.
Yeah, that's
Like,
facts.
they're
That's
saying
facts.
that, like,
That's
I'm having
facts, dude.
fun.
I
This
have
is
risen.
sick.
I have risen above your need to vibe, and I will just
Yeah.
get up
Wait,
and
no,
walk out of the
this
cave.
actually relates to Attack on Titan like heavily.
Oh,
Exactly.
actually?
Yeah. Exactly. The shadows on the cave,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's exactly like that.
It's literally
It's-
what Attack on Titan.
you're
is like.
completely-
Wait, Attack on Titan is a Plato's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
all
completely
these stories
limited.
are like-
Your completely limited perception of the world, and then once you realize something, it's like, oh my goodness, I've been operating under like some world assumption. I didn't even understand the
But
larger.
that's like it's crazy because I think that's like the process of like enlightenment. Like some people are like, oh shit, like this shit like makes so much sense and is like so much bigger than me, and like
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
fully become like monks and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
that, like I fucking-
Dude, I've always like thought about like, I think it's a pretty
dude.
often occurrence where I'm like, dude, what if I just dropped everything and became a monk?
Yo, there's
Yeah.
it's crazy. There's a great Zen Buddhist like quote about like so like when you start out. Basically, let me transcribe it. I'll send the real version later, but like using our language, it's like you start out as a human just vibing, then you start to think about existential stuff, and then you don't think life is about vibing, and then once you really get to know about existential stuff, you just start vibing again.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like
accurate.
fashion.
Fashion.
Right? That kind of reminds me of like at first you're
Oh,
not like
yeah,
aware
facts.
of like how
Yeah.
you're presenting yourself to the world,
Right.
and you become like hyper aware of like everything you're, and then you're
Right.
just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna wear what I
yeah,
like.
exactly.
There's like this meme format that is that too. Like there's this like curve where like it's like a population curve, 0%, and then the middle
Yeah.
is like a really high percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Oh, I've
bottom
seen
is like
this
the
shit.
100%, top 1%, whatever. And like basically the first one is like I just like art, and then the middle one is like, oh, art's all about like
Yeah.
like the deep whatever, and then the final like
Yeah.
the beast Yoda dude is
Yeah,
just like I like
art.
art.
I like art 'cause
Yeah,
it's
it's like
cool.
just full
Yeah,
circle.
yeah.
This is so
That's
great.
facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah, because that's just like what it is.
Like at first you're
Yeah.
a glue eater, and then you're like big brain, and then you just go back to eating glue.
Yeah,
'cause
we
I-
have, we have so many models to
more
explain this
chill,
one
like-
idea.
It's just like glue eating is like what it
It's
is.
just more fun to eat glue, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just
Wait,
gonna go
yeah.
back
Like-
to eating paste.
Wait, let me pull up the Zen like Buddhist quote.
Well, yeah, it's like, so that's why I was saying, like, after you see what's outside the cave, you realize, like, damn, like, it's a kind of
It's
a
like-
vibe to be in
it's
the
like-
cave.
It's kind
too.
of a
Like,
vibe.
Damn, I just want to go back in the cave. Wait, that's exactly like Attack on Titan, dude. I just want.
Wait, facts.
Same
Like
thing,
right
dude.
now, what's going on is like that's all.
It's like,
about.
dude, I wish I could go back into the cave, dude.
Dude, wait,
Yeah.
Aaron. Oh, okay. I don't like Aaron. Not gonna lie.
You're not supposed to like Aaron, dude.
I know, but like some people are like, oh, like I'm like fucking with the ideology, low
Yeah.
key, right? But like, it's just like I hate him, and like he's so cringe. Like, sorry, yeah. Anyways,
I mean, yeah, that's what fascism does to a motherfucker.
damn facts. Wait, dude, this guy is like freaking Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, worse.
Like-
But it's crazy.
Yeah. He's wow.
It's just like
Oh,
how
yeah.
far can like a static ideology bring you if you take it too
Yeah.
far, you know?
Wait, but that's like it's crazy because like
Because he's always been the same. It's always been freedom, and it's always been about like
Yeah,
fighting.
He's a Nazi, bro.
it's also tough though because like his race is actually like
Yeah,
dooming humanity. Like pretty much.
exactly. Because like it's like
Damn.
how like you're in real life, it's just like, yo, just don't be racist, bro. But in
Right,
but in,
like nothing.
in Attack on Titan, it's like, yo, these guys can turn into a giant fucking flesh eating, kill us all. Like, get rid of them in our society.
Guys, yeah, just cut this part out. Oh, actually, he's
Yeah.
clipping, so like it's fine. Like,
No,
Yeah,
Brandon,
we'll
we
cut
never
this
watched
part out
this
just
shit, we're
because-
hella confused right
Yeah,
now.
facts, dude.
Yeah,
They're just
that's
having
what makes
like
it more
another
confusing.
conversation, bro.
Okay,
Okay,
Sorry,
and
we just, like-
and cut. Okay, we just
Guys,
clipped
guys,
out a
we're
bunch of
not
stuff
hours.
where we discussed
I'm like-
Attack on Titan.
I'm low key like mad tired. Like, what's the conclusion?
Let me
let's
see.
wrap this up, bro.
Let me see if there's a go ask question.
The episode name is The Bell Curve or The Full Circle.
Eating glue.
We brought you on to
Eating
talk
Wait,
glue.
the
about.
full circle is
eating
good. The
glue.
full circle is good.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about the concept of a full circle while also the That's smart. My man's big brain.
What? Your second great idea was fully clipped out.
Yeah. You gotta
Wait,
fix the
really?
clipping.
Level up your mic, bro, if
Yeah,
you want to
for
continue
real.
this podcast shit.
Fuck.
We brought you
Your
on to
cost
talk.
$29.
We brought you on to talk about Monet and art, and we talked about. Well, we talked about that for a bit. We talked about that, and like metaphysics, religion,
And we also talked about like
philosophy,
capitalism,
Minecraft,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
empathy too.
empathy,
a little bit. Yeah.
interessante.
Damn, we
Alright,
spent
so-
like 2 sentences on Monet.
Does anybody have any like closing statements to
Yeah, for real.
like wrap the
Just
podcast?
vibe, guys. Wait, no, it's also
That should
like
That's facts. though, That's
Just
facts.
vibe, just vibe.
well, oh damn. It's also cringe to think we're out of the thought out of the cave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because there's no way. Like, anyways.
Yeah, I know,
Cave-
but like
cave
if
sweet-
you
sweet cave.
live your whole life fearful of sounding cringe, bruh, you just can't
but
get
no,
anywhere,
It's not
bruh.
about like sounding cringe. It's like
Yeah.
like existentially cringe. That
Yeah.
like,
Existentially cringe.
No,
It's like the scale,
God,
like-
God is looking down. He's like, "Yo, those humans are."
yeah, no, like it's like when humans think they're like bigger than ants. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like trees probably like trees
Like
probably
the
think they're
people,
cringe,
the
like-
people who are making the fires, casting the shadows, and doing the and there's
Right,
seeing us conjecture about this, about the caves in the wall. They're like, "Yo, they're cringe, bruh."
Yeah, like they don't know we actually made the cave and the world outside the cave.
Yeah.
Like, it's like yeah. Anyway,
Like, y'all don't know
Fire,
shit, bro.
yeah.
Y'all don't know shit, but we don't know shit. But like, if we just keep talking about that, it's an endless cycle, you know. So just we'll just
And
at
it's-
the end of
Who
the day,
made these chains?
At the end of the day, yeah, exactly. We put our own shackles on.
Yeah, who cooked the food?
What?
What does that mean?
You gotta eat in the cave, right? Like they
Oh,
give
yeah,
you
that's
food,
true.
You're chained up.
Don't we
Oh,
cook our own food?
Damn,
right?
you got me in chains.
Never mind.
Yeah.
You got me in chains. All right, just vibe, bro.
All right,
Well,
plug
that's it.
Monet.
Yeah.
Plug Monet one last time.
Oh yeah. Hop on that if you want to.
Yo, if you
Monet down world.
Play CS with us if you're also listening.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
important.
that's more
let's
important.
go climb to gold with the boys.
It's facts.
Thank you for having us. This is fun.
All right, everybody
This
clap.
was a good convo. Successful.
All right, I'm gonna go eat.
Alright.
I'm gonna eat your ass,
Wait,
bro.
Brandon, you finna play later?
Yeah, waiter. I'm
really
I'm
wanna
probably
pee.
gonna hang out with like Alan right now.
Since
Alan.
that means
Brandon, let's do
you're
like a
not
wrap
playing
up here,
today.
and then we'll finish
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the podcast.
All right, peace.
Alright, this has
Good night.
been.
Peace.
Oh,
This was like this has exceeded my expectations. I really like this
true.
conversation.
This is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Thank
Man,
you
that's-
for being.
this is
on
something
here,
that I feel like.
guys.
Yeah, this is something I feel like I would listen back. Like I want to like
Damn.
reflect on what we talked about.
Yeah.
Damn,
So,
guys,
We'll send it to you guys once like everything's like
okay, cool. Yeah.
finished. Shit.
Thank you for your insights. 감사합니다, and have a
Damn.
good day.
Yeah, good
And
night.
you're freaking Korea, boo.
Let's go.
Peace.
Hey.
Yo, now that John's